This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
There is a podcast no one asked for. A podcast you never knew you didn't want. 3 beers in. This is the podcast.
I anticipate a deeply religious experience.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of 3 Beers In. This is Ross, and next to me is...
Samantha Glenn with Funky Picnic.
And...
Chance.
I called you Chase earlier. I'm sorry.
It took a lot of people
Everyone
to.
does. That's
Chance.
right.
Chance. Ross
and then
Chance.
that sexy baritone that you might hear is...
Oh, hi. Hello. Harper with Funky Picnic Brewery.
Yeah.
funkypicnicbrewery.com for all your .com needs.
There you go. Yeah, in case you couldn't tell, we are at Funky Picnic recording today.
Woo woo.
Yeah, exactly. Woo woo. And that's about it. I don't know. That's the end of the show. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. It was really nice having you here.
Yeah. So we're
Hey, Ross. No, okay. I don't have a commercial.
I have.
Okay.
Anyway. So yeah, we're going to be trying some beers and looking at the new. Well, I guess listeners, you can't see all the new stuff that's gone up since.
Oh, but you can.
Last time.
No, paint a word picture.
On our social media.
There you go.
There it is.
Social meowdy it. I don't know.
No,
Okay.
I was close.
Yeah. No. I kind of lost heart halfway through. I was like, okay, I don't know how to do this.
It's too damn early. You know what it is?
Yeah. So we
It's
need to
too damn
start
early.
start drinking. So what do we got here? What's our first beer?
So I'm guiding you guys on a journey.
Oh,
This
nice.
is where we're going. So this is Porch Drinkin'. This is our pale ale.
Nice.
It's Porch Drinkin' with an apostrophe, and the G is denied
Because we're in Texas.
because we're in Texas.
We don't have time for the G.
We don't have time for the G. We've got stuff to do.
We got drinking to do.
We've got drinking to do. Gosh darn it!
So it doesn't look very pale.
Well, you're right. Some might even say it's soapy.
Oh.
So this is our pale ale. I've found out to be kind of not one of our most divisive beers, but this is a beer that everyone who's tried it thus far has had a stronger opinion about. Not as in this is shit, this is good, but just in more of kind of what they were expecting versus what they weren't expecting. So
Okay.
of the 3 hoppy beers that we're going to have to launch with, this one is going to be on the more bitter side.
Yeah.
We'll also have a hazy IPA that's going to be more of the aroma,
Right.
typical kind of, aroma hazy IPA that you would expect. And then our Imperial IPA is going to be the balanced one.
Nice. Okay.
So if you'll raise your glass, swirl it, sniff it, and then we're going to slurp.
Pinkies up.
Yeah, that's-
Pinkies out, guys.
Yeah.
This is 11
Classy.
o'clock. Yeah. Jesus, please don't do this. Just drink it like a person.
My pinky was already out, so I didn't.
Oh, that's
Wow.
fine. That's how you operate as a person. And that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm fancy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Fancy
bitter.
AF.
Bitter.
Right?
There you go.
So it's got like that drier finish for sure. So this one
does.
we brewed it with. Do your listeners expect like in-depth brew talk, like how we brewed it?
In the beginning,
hops?
no.
Okay.
But as we've progressed, I don't know. They might not like it, but
Yeah.
I like talking about
Ross
it.
does.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
like it.
So I used hops in a different sort of combination,
What?
and that's how we got the flavor.
Different.
And so that's where we are.
Okay.
When you say different combination, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's just like the most basic way of
Oh, okay, yeah.
explaining how we brewed it.
Basic B.
So here's a little thing about me because you guys asked.
Yes. We did.
Did we
Yeah.
ask?
No.
I-
You didn't. But I'm here now, and I've had 2
He
cups
said
of
we're on
coffee,
a journey.
and we're on a journey.
You're on a caffeine high.
Hopped
We're
up,
on a journey to learn more about Harper.
hopped up on
as a
beans.
brewer. Hopped up on beans. I'm a hippie, and I don't want to use
Right.
hops that are trademarked because that feels weird to me.
What? Well, how
Feels
do
weird to
you?
me.
Oh man, there's so much you're missing out on, man.
Well, yeah, like I'm missing out on Amarillo, which is one of my favorite hops. And also, it turns out missing out on Calypso, which is the hop that's in
Yeah.
this.
Uh-oh.
So found that out after.
Already
I
broken
used
his
it.
own rules.
Already
Yeah.
broken my own rules. Well, I'm a vegan and I drive a car with leather seats.
Yeah.
So in
Well,
order
as long
to
as you don't use fish bladders.
right, exactly. No, I don't. So in order to kind of get around that, just kind of been trying to utilize hops that may or may not be often used as a way to develop those flavors. So with both this Pale Ale and our Imperial IPA, used a combination of Centennial and Chinook hops.
Right, okay.
To get more of like that citrus, grapefruit, but also some of that piney, a little bit of earthy. And so with this one, we use Chinook hops early in the boil to get more of like a kind of more like an earthy, pronounced sort of bitterness.
Earthy bitterness,
and then finish it with Centennial, and then dry hop it with Calypso, which is also like almost
get a bit of
tea-ish.
Yeah.
Like you almost get like a botanical kind of tea.
I got it. Yeah.
But then there's still like
herbal quality to it.
Yeah, it's more on the herbal side than the citrus. But and then just also with the way that we adjusted the water profile, it finishes really nice and dry. And so it's a clean finish. I dig it because it's a clean finish, and there is a good bitterness there.
Right.
I don't think it's lingering. I don't think it's off-putting.
Well, we have other people that have been on the show that would disagree. But they can't handle anything bitter. So
tell me who now. I will search them out.
Well, and
I will
that's why
shake
we
their
have
hand.
3 styles of hoppy beers.
Right.
We really wanted the balance in the menu of, people may like IPAs or pale ales or whatever, and they like different things. So showcasing the range of hops by having the bitter forward with this pale, having the aroma forward with the hazy, and then having the balance. I love the balanced beers. I also like this more than I like the hazies, which are so popular right now.
Yeah,
right.
But I think just so many people for so many years have been used to big hop bombs as far as the bitterness that they just say, I don't like hoppy beers.
Yeah,
and it's
also,
like, but you do like hazies, so maybe you do. It just depends on how the hops are used.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because for so long they've had the bitterness from the West Coast IPAs and all that, the Sierra Nevadas, and they equate bitterness with hoppiness. So it's like something that a lot of people can't wrap their heads around. It's like, oh, this flavor is from the hops. Oh, it is hoppy.
Right.
But it's not bitter.
And like a PBS special, we like to be all about the education here at Funky Picnic.
There you
and
go.
so we just
The
like
more
to
you know.
educate the customer.
Yeah.
The more you know.
That's
That's NBC. Come on, get on the trolley.
Okay, I just wanted to say you the more you know.
Yes, Mr. Rogers' deep cut. Hell yeah. That's why at our grand opening, we're going to be handing out gift bags and totes.
There you go.
And totes. If you donate $5 to the cause, we'll give you a commemorative tote.
Total goats.
And that's the other really cool thing about having.
We're not, unless you're putting that together.
Oh yeah, no, this is.
I have
I'm gonna have to have like a serious button that I push whenever I'm being genuine and earnest.
Like, I don't need another thing on my list. Thanks.
Say genuine.
Genuine, the genuine, and that's the other cool
How do
thing
you know
about having.
genuine?
This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And that's the other cool thing too about having not only 15 taps available to us, but also having these 3 hoppy beers is everything that happens in the brewery that's currently behind me needs to go really, really well, pair really well, and work really well with what's happening in the kitchen.
Right, yeah, that's
so
something else,
like
yeah.
this with like this really dry finish and this kind of dominant bitterness will be something that would work well with, maybe like more of a rich sandwich or, something that's got a lot of, kind of fats to it.
Yeah.
Especially if and when we start doing like
big
brunch,
hunk of cheese.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Josh, our chef, has been putting out some really delicious looking charcuterie boards.
Oh, nice.
And so something that would finish, clean and crisp like this would work really well in that. So,
Well, and he also uses the pale in brining some of the pickles. So we use some of them are brined with the pale ale and some are brined with the IPA. And so those are all house-made pickles on our menu.
Nice.
And it really comes out and really works really well.
That's what's in your walk-in right now? Mm-hmm. 65 gallons of pickles or whatever.
it's quartz. I found out they use
Oh, is it
quartz,
quartz?
which
Okay.
is weird to me. And then, I think they did that on Monday, and then just the entire place smelled like pickles.
Nice.
This is vinegar.
And I was telling
What'd
Sam,
you do with the pickle juice?
oh, it's still
They're in
there.
the pickles.
No, they're like pickling right now.
It's currently happening. Things are happening. Now, I was telling Sam this week, whenever that happened, having worked for 6 years in different breweries, I've gotten so used to the smell of breweries and having to react to a different smell. So if I smell
Something's
something
off.
that's like cleaning or whatever, then I know just kind of recognizing where I am in terms of what I smell. And so being here and then one moment smelling bacon and then one moment smelling pickles and then one moment smelling something else, like I've had to get used to, like, oh, that's someone else's smell. I don't have to worry about that.
Bacon and egg stout.
Bacon and egg stout. How would you do that?
Oh, God, I would probably make a stout and then just serve bacon and eggs. I don't want to drink it. I don't know.
I'm worried that what you heard was, I want a lot of bacon and eggs. What I mean is,
give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
and that's the name of that beer.
There you go.
That's already
Yeah.
a beer.
All the bacon and eggs.
Is it?
I think Martin House had a beer called
Yeah.
All
All
the
the
Bacon
Bacon
and
and Eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Martin House. They're like the Simpsons of the beer name world. It's like if you come
They-
up with an
they
idea,
put
like
out so
Martin House
many.
did it. I mean, you can't stop. You just got to keep coming up with new stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Touching on the bitterness, I would say that the bitterness kind of subsides after you've had a couple drinks, so it
Right.
becomes more of a
You can taste the rest
An
of the,
experience.
the
yeah,
malts
yeah.
and stuff.
So at first I was like, yeah, I can taste the bitterness, but it kind of starts becoming
As
a
your
part of
palate
the
gets
beer.
used to it.
It becomes a
Yeah.
part of me.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always important to encourage people to have more than one sip.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
the first sip, like especially sours that are really tart, I always tell people that first sip is really going to get your jowls like puckering up. The second sip, you'll actually be able to taste the balance in the beer.
Right.
Because you got to clear your palate, get it used. If you're drinking coffee, got the drink trifecta over here.
Yeah.
I'll have them all finished.
If you're drinking coffee and then go straight to that, it's going to taste completely different than it does when you have just been drinking water all morning.
Right. So, yeah, speaking of sours, when is Funky Picnic going to get funky?
We just got to get open first.
Yeah.
That's the, and like Sam and I have
Slowly
talked
roll,
before. Jesus, give it a second. Sam and I like talked about that early
Farmhouse,
on of like using I don't know. I said this. I don't know if you agreed with me, but
I never do.
you never
Yeah.
did. It's a good call. Of just seeing the name Funky Picnic is almost a litmus test.
Right.
So people who maybe don't know from beer, get this idea of like, oh, this is a fun hangout. And people who do know from beer, it's like, well, where's the sour stuff?
There you go.
Right.
Where's your barrel
Yeah.
program? Funky's
Yeah.
in the name.
Yeah.
You
Right?
know?
It's not sour.
It's not, funky's
Yeah,
not sour. And
I
we're
was
very
actually-
militant about that.
I was actually surprised who
Horse blanket.
don't know that Fort Worth is called Funky Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that for a while. But I'm learning that a lot of people don't
I
know that.
found out the first time that we had Sam on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
So that is where the funky in the name comes from. But also, I think one of the things that we're in this neighborhood where we have several other breweries within walking distance, and we know them and we love them, and they came before us.
but
and,
you're better than them.
I mean, as people,
We're all a part of a community.
As people, definitely. But we're also, we have our own direction of how we're going, which is pairing with the food, creating this atmosphere where
Right.
people that wouldn't traditionally go into a production warehouse are comfortable coming in here and maybe trying something new and developing that palate. But we have Collective right around the corner, and they do amazing funky and sour
They
things.
do, yes.
And I think that's a great place. They also do clean beers, which are also really good. But I think it's more highlighting, if you want to try something funky and sour, go there next. Like, we may have something down the line, but that's not really our focus, and that's their
Right.
focus, and they do it really well. And, same, if you want a live band, like loud music and late nights, go to Hop Fusion.
There you go.
They
Yeah.
have that big patio. They have a really big stage. They're open till midnight. We are closing at 10. We're more of a conversation type space. We may have some acoustic acts every now and then, but that's
Right.
not really what our space is.
Yeah, it's something that people can come and just relax and enjoy the beer and food.
And if you're
right?
wanting that traditional brewery tour, ours also right down the road.
There you go.
So we really want to make sure that we're carving our own niche in this neighborhood, not taking, but just adding on to the other breweries that are already here and have already made this area successful.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, and that was something else that you like to highlight. It's not a brewery with a kitchen. It's how do you explain it?
I mean, it's a brew pub, so the beers aren't made without thinking about the food, and the food's not made without thinking about the beer.
Right.
Also, most of our food menu incorporates the beer, like we were talking about the pickles. So we have just the house brine IPA pickles that are on the appetizer menu, so you can get dilled pickles, the slices, pickle spears as part of the appetizers. We also have the I'm Picklish, which is the pickles with house-made pimento cheese. I never liked pimento cheese until now.
What is wrong with you? What?
Yeah.
Well,
It's like cheese, but spicy.
But she likes it now. It's okay, Ross.
Store-bought pimento cheese is way different. House, like
can
actual
understand that.
homemade pimento cheese is really good.
Okay.
And then it also has ham on it. So it's without ham, it's a good
Pass.
vegetarian option as well.
There you go.
But as a matter of fact, the first time that our chef Josh, he R&D'd that recipe, he forgot the ham. And I was like, I felt like there was more on this when I saw it on the menu. And then I was like, wasn't there supposed to be ham? And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, well, it was really good without it. So at least we know we have a vegetarian option.
There you go.
Ham. That was a 30 Rock quote.
Yeah.
People do like the way she says ham.
I'm just going to see how many like NBC sitcoms I can reference in this
There you
episode.
go.
Yeah.
They haven't done The Office yet, but we will.
Not that you know. Maybe I have and you just didn't catch it.
I don't know. Ross will catch it. I promise you, Ross.
I haven't.
Sam won't.
Yet.
I probably won't.
No.
That's true. I just poured you guys the ESP.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
I'm so
Some
excited.
nutty.
That's next on this thing.
So, but talking about the pale ale
oh,
still.
yeah. Okay. No, yeah. You
did-
got me.
I didn't smell it yet.
No, you can drink it, whatever. But I guess there was some crystal in there, or some honey malt. I got
In
a
the
little
pale?
bit of some sweetness, a little bready, maybe a little nutty.
For sure. Let's see. So I can't remember like exactly what percentage of crystal malt that I used in there. But for sure, as a brewer, I don't typically like using a lot of crystal malts.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I can understand it.
I like more like malt forward flavors.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I don't know. I feel like you can get really carried away with some of those things.
Yeah, a lot of pretty soon you have 10 different malts in your beer when you
Right.
want to keep it simple and kind of showcase the flavor of the beer and not just muddle everything.
Exactly. Well, and if I can refine that statement by saying like you can get carried away, I mean I can get carried away.
Yeah.
So whenever
I do that myself.
like I'm a drummer, right? So whenever I set up
here
my
we go.
kit, I have to.
Your 30-piece kit.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So I have to play with like a 4-piece.
Everybody wants chimes. Wait,
I have to play with a 4-piece.
Do you need the double kick drum?
No, God, no. Ugh, no. We'll talk about that later. So, like, I have to limit. I play like a 4-piece kit, and
Yeah.
I have 2 cymbals, and that's it. Because if I had more, I would play it.
yeah.
The same way whenever I'm developing a recipe. Like, I look at it, I come up with all the ideas that I want, all the different notes that I want to hit, and then I say, I can get rid of probably 3 of these things.
There you go. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then scale it back, because otherwise it just becomes just, this madness. it becomes this monstrosity of a thing to where, maybe you do want this roasted crystalline flavor that comes from C80, C120, but it's completely thrown off because you also had a bunch of chocolate and brown in
There
it.
you go.
You know what I mean? So if there's different ways that you can work with other ingredients, if it's different ways that you treat your water, or if it's different ways that you ferment or use your yeast, or different ways that you boil, all these different things, I would rather use those tools that are available rather than just throw a lot of ingredients at a wall and see what kind of comes out at the end.
Less is more.
Less is more, which is a really perfect way that I could have said that instead of starting with how I play drums and then ending up with.
You said it was a
less is
journey.
more.
You did more
There you
nice.
go.
It is a journey. So anything that I use like crystal malts, it's going to be probably less than 5%.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one's pretty straightforward. Just some pale malt. I used it's called Propino pale malt. It's an English pale. Use that. Just a little bit of probably C40, little carapils. That's about it.
Okay. Cool.
You know what I mean? Just enough for color.
Yeah.
It's not for
But
color.
it's a pale malt. So how do you...
So going back
Color.
to
Anyway, yeah.
the hops that you use, Ross understands more about the hops that you described. Do you lend more towards noble hops, or do you have a preference?
I want to use noble hops in everything I do.
Yeah.
I have a strong preference
Cool.
towards noble hops.
Okay, cool.
And I became really self-aware of that as we were doing staff training and letting them taste all the different beers that we had, and noticed after like the 6th one that every description was, pretty earthy, a little citrus.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, there's a theme. I want everything to be just a little earthy, a little spicy with a touch of citrus.
He said he was happy.
So, super hippie, man.
So much Hallertau.
So much earth.
Yes. Oh, so Saaz is my number one favorite.
Yeah,
hop.
Saaz.
I want to throw Saaz in everything that I do.
It's too spicy for me.
Oof, and then get out the kitchen. Herzbrucker is another one that I've been, relying on a lot. I just started using a lot of Tettenang.
There you go.
Which is really nice. We got a pretty heavy dose of Tettenang in our Kolsch, and then also our Mexican lager and our Border Disorder Saison, which is like a Belgian-y, Frenchy sort of Saison with some pink peppercorns and prickly pear.
There you go.
It's too many peas, man.
Yeah.
It's so alliterative. But yeah, noble hops all the way. I like a good American hop, but I feel like the noble hops don't get enough love.
That's true.
And kind of the same thing with UK hops too. As we'll notice in this ESB, there's a good amount of.
So we should try, I guess.
Like Kent Golding in there.
Yeah.
So just all the herbs, like
some
all
EKG.
the herbs.
And to call to that, and the history behind the English style bitter, we named this beer Funny Accent. Because here in Texas, you guys say, "Why you got that funny accent?"
That's true.
You sound like you're from London.
Because in Texas we don't have funny accents.
That is a really great ESB.
Do you want to guess what my favorite malt is based on this recipe?
Well,
I'll throw you that challenge. Take a little sip, do a little swirl, maybe try it retronasally.
Love that word.
I love that word so much. I don't
have the knowledge that Ross has, but it's almost kind of caramelly. Is that
for sure?
Yeah.
It's 2 words.
It's 2 words.
Oh,
you want to take a shot?
One word is an animal.
One word is an animal. Wait, promise isn't an animal.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
You were feeling some promise on that?
Oh, the Maris Otter. There you go. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I can't decide. When I make an English beer, I can't really decide between Maris Otter and Golden Promise. I use them both. It's like
in equal proportions?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like when I make our Wee Heavy, it's that's what I try to use. But yeah. It's like go English. I love them. I don't know. Maris Otter is really great. I love it.
Bro, we can talk about some Wee Heavy. That's one of my favorite styles. There's a recipe that I've been.
I should have brought some.
I think I still have the one you gave me.
That one is very bourbony. Actually,
it's actually in our walk-in. Usually we're like, I want a Modelo at the end of the day, not a Wee Heavy.
That one's probably it's been aged now for
because that was December,
8 months now. That's probably
when we came. Yeah,
peak. But the second batch is better.
Oh, okay.
It's always better.
I would like to try that actually.
Yeah, we can try it. Yeah.
Any chance I get to use Maris Otter and a Special B also.
Oh yeah.
There's a ton of Special B in this.
Little
a little more than you probably should.
A little raisiny. Bit. Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons that I really dig it, and especially too in like my Wee Heavy and anything that's supposed to be good, toasty, dark.
So
is as it warms up, I feel like that's the one that you pick up.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the one that develops with temperature.
Definitely.
In my opinion.
So talking about Wee Heavies, how do you feel about peat?
Anti.
Okay.
Anti-peat.
Good.
I'm really glad we don't have any staff named Pete.
It is.
Here.
But
spell it wrong.
We got one asshole named
I'd have
Harper.
to put on my HR hat and
I am anti-Pete. I'm anti-Pete and his brother Pete.
Home run hat.
and their adventures.
But he's got that cool tattoo.
He does have that. Petunia, I believe, is the name of the tattoo.
He can make her dance.
Yeah. He just flexes a little.
So my favorite thing, not about Pete, but about this ESB is that I think traditionally in America is that you get your ESBs, because it's not a very popular style, they become more of this pub ale, and they're like this easy drinking, lighter. This is a maltier version, which I think is truer to the actual style of an English style bitter, and that's what we were going for. So we have these Beer 101 cards, is what I call them.
Close to a brown, almost, but yeah. We
have these Beer 101 cards, and it's like, I normally drink Miller Lite. Then look for a Hell's, a Kolsch, a Blonde, a Pilsner, These are the styles to kind of look for on our menu or any menu that you go to. It's not specifically look for the funny accent or something like that. And so when we were looking at, we had this wedding reception we were hosting, which is the beers we currently have right now. And I said, I love all the beers, everything, and I know we're pressed for time, but if somebody said they like Shiner, I don't have anything even close that I would steer them towards. Even the peanut butter stout, like that's a lot darker, that's a lot roastier, it has the peanut butter, so it has the adjuncts in it. And so I was like, is there something we could kind of have in that mid-range? And I think Harper later was like, I'm really glad you made me make this ESB. Because he was like, I really don't want to make a brown ale. And we didn't have time to do a Dunkel or a Bock. And so that's kind of why we did this ESB and wanted it to be closer to that roastier, maltier profile. And it turned out really great.
Yeah.
So Bocks take a little bit more time.
They're lagered generally, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
For sure. And I definitely will. Any sort of lager,
Funky
any sort
Bock.
of, German style.
Patent pending. Yeah.
He said he doesn't like trademarked.
Well, you can't use it now.
Everything needs to just be like free and open to the world, man.
So hippie.
Like just let the universe provide for you, man. It's like where do you stand?
Start a podcast and you get free beer. I hope. I don't know. Are we paying for this? I didn't bring in my wallet.
It'll be $500.
No, that's why Colin's not on right now. He's actually meticulously keeping
Colin's
our tab.
frequent Instagram liker.
Yeah, we call him the Calsry.
Yeah, there you
Do
go.
not call him that.
Okay.
That's a terrible name. Go ahead and put an edit point there.
Okay.
Cut that part out.
We'll find a better one.
Well, the other interesting thing about this ESB2 is I don't know. I feel like this is, for me at least, I feel like this is a beer that whenever I think of ESB, like whenever I read the style guidelines, this is what I think of, right?
Do you tend to brew to style?
Yeah, I like to stick close to it.
Okay.
I like to use that as a guideline. And if there's something in the style...
It's like one of those things where you have to... That's one of the things you need to control. Like, it's like if you don't, you can go way out in left field. Just like.
But I think because of those guidelines, our homebrew recipes that we've kind of had him incorporate have made him really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which as a manager makes me really happy.
Because you've brewed some funky stuff, right?
Yeah, not funky in the traditional Brett sense,
No,
but funky in the a little bit out there sense. So.
Well, yeah,
didn't you have a blueberry waffle that you made at Martin House? Or
yeah, we had that, and that's actually one that Harper has brewed.
Yeah, actually, we can probably try that one at some point. Yeah, but
Doesn't
we
have
have both the
blueberries
regular
yet,
triple and the... No, that one's ready too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got both. So now you know.
Can tell how much I do.
Half the battle.
But there, so like a lot of the recipes, that they kind of came to the table with were what I lovingly and jokingly referred to as "but then" beers. It was like, it's a saison, but then.
There you go.
It's a
Yeah,
porter,
yeah.
But then, and so it's kind of just like this, offer something with your left hand, but then surprise them with what's in the right hand.
There you go. Which, if you're doing competitions and whatnot, that's kind of what sometimes that's what you got to do to get people's attention.
What we've discussed is that there's a big difference between homebrewing. As homebrewers, you tend to make the beers that you can't get commercially,
right?
And you tend to experiment a lot more. And I think here at Funky Picnic, we kind of have that balance. Is that there's still people that just want a Kolsch or a Pilsner or just a regular IPA. And so we have those offerings, but by having, 12 to 15 taps always full, we can also have the Border Disorders name that because originally that was also a Martin House Riverside shootout entry.
Right.
And we were like, well, let's do a triple grain bill, but use a Saison yeast. And so it was kind of a hybrid.
Yeah.
Which meant we just now it's just an Imperial Saison.
Right.
And all that sugar for that.
It's going to eat all that up. Yeah.
And then we kind of got the very topical with the prickly pear cactus and stuff that it was just worked really well with politics in the way that's been going for the past, 5-10 years with kind of the border disorder issues that we've had.
Yeah.
So, but originally it was also going to the kind of the style that we're in between the two styles. And as homebrewers, that's what we wanted to do, but we still want to have that balance in our menu here so that if you want that, we have that. And if you just want a nice light drinking beer or a nice IPA, we have those as well.
Right.
Or an ESB.
Yeah. The PNFP stands for political.
There you go.
Funky
political.
politics.
And that is That's another podcast. We just started a second
Can't
one.
get into that.
That's for you. You're the white man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you know how podcasts work? Let me explain it to you.
Thank you.
But I mean,
I don't know anything. Please explain more.
I know you're a woman.
Can you explain that to me? I probably don't understand that.
Well,
the best part about that was the 5 seconds of silence.
Yeah.
it was perfect. That's what I go for.
I know you're a woman. And that is, I mean, that's what I dig about homebrewing too. Is there's a lot of the just kind of can do it yourself. This is what I'm into, and I want to create that for myself.
And the experimentation sort of.
And the experimentation, and every homebrewer that I've ever spoken with, every homebrew beer that I've ever done, and I'm sure your experience is the same, is I've tried a lot of different things, and I've got an idea for what I want.
I want to do
in
this
this style or in this taste, but I want to do this, and no one else is doing exactly what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to be different when I do stuff like that. But yeah,
exactly. And so there's that kind of attitude and that kind of mentality. I think 15 taps, like we can definitely still have that, but the overarching theme of what we're trying to do here at Funky Picnic is bring everybody in.
Beer for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Craft beer for every taste.
Craft beer for every taste.
It's right there on the wall in case you need a
Relax.
talking note.
Wait, no. That's the other part of the wall.
So like all 15 taps can't be, I wanted to do this, so try it. A lot of taps need to be like,
13 IPAs
do you like
and
this?
then 2.
Yeah. It's like, hey, are you familiar with this? Cool. We'll start the conversation there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then once we get to know each other, then you can try like this weird, crazy shit that I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely not the attitude.
It's a journey.
Like, if you don't like beer, don't come to a brewery. It's like, if you
journey.
don't like beer, come in and we'll
talk.
try and see if
We'll
really
fix
you just think beer is Coors Light and IPAs. Like there's a lot more than that. There's 166 beer styles, as well as all these hybrid and crazy things that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A peanut butter stout's probably not what you're thinking of when you think of beer.
Right.
Or
That's
maybe
what Chance thinks of. He loves it.
Or maybe you find you like the ESB because you get those roasty notes and it's a little closer to a coffee or something like that. And you like coffee. So, okay, let's give this a try.
Yeah, I love roasty beers. That's my taste palette for sure.
Chance, let's hear from you. What do you think about this ESB?
Is it Chance or Chase?
It's Chance.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my God. Is it Chance?
It is Chance. Yeah, you did it.
Chancy.
You're going to notice from my comments, it's going to be more of a generic. I'm a part-time member.
Amen.
But
part-tied.
Part-tied. I do love getting like a chocolate. I do love getting like a chocolate or a caramel or a sweet note to it or the roasty note from a malt. And I do find myself lately when I go to a brewery looking for something that's going to give me that malty, roasty, like I'm going towards lagers and Bocks and ESBs or, stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I was surprised by the roastiness and the caramel notes that I was getting from it in a good way.
Right.
It's very good.
Is there anything you don't like about this ESB?
This ESB? Nope.
Okay.
I think this is...
Look me in the eye and give me
that was the correct answer.
Okay.
Look me in the eye and tell me it's wrong.
Good thing the viewers can't see the knife held to your throat.
Ow, you cut me. No, I think this is probably the best ESB I've ever had. I'll go on record.
Too.
Timestamp.
I'd probably like...
like your second one ever?
A bit more like
like 4 or 5. So I haven't had that many. There's just not that many out there. But
it's
also
true.
I'd probably like more of a biscuity note or crackery, but no, this
we got
is
crackers in the kitchen.
There you go. Just grind them up and like
if
a
pastry
soup.
stouts have taught me anything, it's that you can just add shit to the kettle and it comes out in the end.
But no, I would have to mirror what Chance is saying. This is one of the best, if not the best, ESBs I've had. Yeah.
This makes me feel gross. I feel like I asked for compliments.
Yeah, you
Chance,
did.
where are you in your beer journey? Like, where are you? Like, where? So, when you started off drinking beer, what kind of flavors were you looking for?
IPAs.
Well, yeah. Honestly,
Okay.
When I joined
Aztec Gold.
Yeah, I joined the Navy and
you liked it at one time.
Yeah, I
anyway,
did.
sorry.
It's true. Yeah. No, yeah, I joined the Navy and I went to the East Coast and I started trying different beers. Like I was grabbing Sam Adams and Yingling and just trying stuff that wasn't Miller Lite or Natural Light. And so
because Miller Lite, not to cut you off, but that's what your dad drank.
That is what my dad drank.
Yeah.
So when I wanted to go different and I wanted something heavy and I wanted dark. I started leaning towards stouts. And then when the craft brew scene grew up, and I was living, or it got what blew up, I was in Austin at the time.
Yeah.
And that was a craft beer mecca, right? I mean, it's just, there's breweries everywhere, even 5-6 years ago.
What? Yeah, was this about 6 years ago? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
I think 9 years ago is really 2010 is when you really got into.
That's
craft
when,
beer,
for sure. I mean, that's where I was going to
or
places.
fake craft beer. I don't know.
Going to,
I don't know if it was real craft
Was it like
beer.
so? At that point, was it like Adelbert's and Live Oak?
Adelbert's.
Adelbert's.
or
Was it
whatever I
Adelbert's?
could find at Flying Saucer.
Right.
You know,
the
and
saucer.
I was just trying all the different beers, and I was going for stuff that was different, but you know, in the last couple of years, I kind of went towards a more funky sour,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and I still love those beers. But now, like I said, I'm more I'm going towards malty and roasty and that kind
Get
of
that
flavor.
finger all up in that foam.
I was hoping you didn't see that.
I'm good.
kind
I'll
of a-
drink it anyway.
it's kind of a
Alcohol
pretty
kills
foul.
germs.
This is what I'm saying. Did you spend much time in the IPA realm?
I mean, I did initially, and every time like I went to a place that had craft beer, I ordered the IPA because that's what I knew of as craft beer.
Right.
I put those two together for some reason, which I honestly think tons of people did and still do.
I think they still do,
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
There was one time that we were in Vegas, and you said a good IPA tastes like a sweaty sock.
Yeah.
What the hell did you know of IPAs at that point?
I was just
Or
going
how do you
for
perceive, How do you perceive
It was
sweaty sock?
Goose Island IPA.
Yeah, and it was-
You were like, that's a good IPA.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I was going for like,
Because that's what you thought IPAs were,
right.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I didn't. My knowledge of what I was looking for in my taste buds or what I thought a craft beer should be, I thought craft beer was going to just be really heavy and hoppy.
Yeah.
That was my
Heavy
profile.
and bitter.
Heavy, bitter. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of
You're right. Not hoppy, bitter.
Bitter.
Correct. Yeah.
See, excellent. These are the things that we learn with education.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's a
I didn't
very
know this when we
I think it's a
started.
very
Yeah.
American trend to discover a sort of flavor and then just swing like on a pendulum.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, no.
real far one way, right? So whenever we, exactly like you said,
I
like,
found a lot
for
of people
while-
do that, and it's like,
Yeah.
no.
For a while, craft beer was IPAs, and that meant that bitterness was above 100 IBUs,
Yeah.
and that meant
Right.
that it was like tongue scraping pine, kind of West Coasty, different kind of things.
Can't
You could
even-
go to a brewery and
can't
that's all
even
you would
taste
find
over
were
100.
IPAs.
Yeah. And that's it. And I don't think anyone meant for it to be that way.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, it's still happening now. There's such a direct correlation between craft beer, the local brewery down the road from me, and IPAs.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it. And it's also kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because IPAs are always like the number one
Turn
seller,
and burn, yeah.
Right. And
You make them quick, sell them.
we have to have 3 IPAs on.
Yeah, because that's what people expect when you have a craft brewery,
It's
right?
gonna happen. You got to have an IPA. If for no other reason, people are expected.
It's like,
That's
you don't
good.
have an IPA?
That's a good enough
Yeah.
reason. But also just with our theme of being inclusive, being welcoming,
Yeah.
making sure that everyone
Yeah.
feels comfortable at the table. That when you're looking at 15 taps and you don't know a GD thing, right, from beer.
Here we go.
But you recognize IPA.
Yeah.
You've got 3 different starting points.
Oh, yeah.
Grey Dog.
3 different things say IPA on them, right? So you can at least start there. And then maybe when your inhibitions are lowered, you can say, yeah, fuck it, I'll try the peanut butter stout.
There you go. Yeah.
That's Harper's journey.
There you go.
That's my journey.
Well, the other thing is with having a restaurant, we're really only selling our beer on site. We're not selling
Right.
off site. I don't have to worry about somebody going into a grocery store or a bottle shop and seeing ESB and being like, well, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
And walking on. Like, ESBs don't sell.
No, yeah.
But
We've
if,
heard that from every brewer.
ESBs and
Really?
Browns
Oh, yeah.
probably,
but if I can have a conversation, Saisons don't sell as well either. But I
Saisons
can,
are amazing.
I can
What?
sell the shit out of a Saison if I'm talking directly to the customer.
Yeah.
Because then I have
Here, try this.
a wine drinker
Oh,
or
amazing.
a champagne drinker, and I'm like,
Yeah.
try a Saison. It's bubbly, it's floral, it's nice and crisp. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna love it. And same thing with an ESB. If you don't recognize the style, you're not going to go there. But
Yeah.
if I can push you there by, hey, having a conversation, figuring out you like roasty, malty flavors, Chance. So, okay, here, give this a taste. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Just try it.
Right.
And then you like it. Oh, what is this? Well, it's an ESB. It's an English style bitter. Like, Yeah, you
son of a
didn't
bitch.
even know this existed, and now I've blown your minds. I'm in the business to blow minds.
Yeah.
Sounds sturdier than it is.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
That's
is
Only
more.
because I'm
That's
a woman.
totally not what we
Only
were
because
thinking.
I'm a woman. That sounds sturdier than it is. All right.
Hey, Chance.
What's up, Ross?
Has this ever happened to you? You're walking around the South Side area, and there's something missing in your life.
All the time.
You feel empty. Maybe you're just thirsty. But what if you're hungry too? What will you do? That's right, heroin. But you're all out. So why not try Funky Picnic Brewery and Cafe instead of heroin?
In lieu of heroin?
Now at Funky Picnic Brewery and Cafe, they have beer and food. Amazing, right? So
What will I do with all my needles?
You could shoot up the beer. I don't know. Anyway, let's not worry about that.
sorry.
That's a problem for a later time.
Right.
And next door is Black Cat Pizza, so get your high and then get a pie.
There you go.
Get a pie.
Funky Picnic is a new and exciting brewery and restaurant, but they're not just here to give you a beer and a sandwich and kick you out the door.
And definitely not heroin.
Yeah. Because no. Because
No heroin.
Because at Funky Picnic, they see beer as a path to connection, creativity, and community. And one of the cool things is that Funky Picnic has a smaller brewing system than traditional breweries, allowing more flexibility in the selection of beers they offer and in the interaction and collaboration with their customers. They have designed their brewery in a cafe setting to appeal to a wide range of customers by offering longer hours, comfortable seating, a kid-friendly environment, and a simple menu of appetizers, snacks, and artisan sandwiches. So before you try heroin, try Funky Picnic.
Or just instead.
Okay, Ross.
Funky Picnic Brewery and Cafe, where bread is free for ducks.
Is that a Mad Lib?
Maybe not.
No, did you ever listen to Mitch Hedberg?
No. Well, yeah.
What is... Okay.
But is that a Mitch Hedberg thing?
Yeah.
The ducks.
Yeah. Ducks eat at Subway
He went,
for free.
Yeah, ducks eat at Subway for free.
And they all want sun chips.
They all, yeah.
They all want sun chips. I've heard the rice one about rice is great if you want 1,000 of a tiny
Yeah.
things. Or the club sandwich one.
Yeah.
I'd say
Not even a member.
There's a sandwich. A sandwich.
Let me ask you a
Spiral
question.
Diner.
How do you feel about Fruity Toothpicks?
I'm for them.
You're in.
Club is formed.
I like my sandwich with alfalfa sprouts.
You're not part of club.
Where did that copy come from? Did you write that?
Yeah.
That was so good.
A lot of it was from your website.
Yeah, I was
the
like,
heroin.
a lot of it sounded.
I figured
Like our
Samantha would it sounds
That was
familiar.
I mean, Jenny wrote it. I'm an engineer.
Oh, okay.
They don't let me write things. They let me do maths.
I have people skills.
Nice office space.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maths are difficult. What we have in front of us now is You Wanted a Wit. This is our Belgian wit
did.
beer.
I did. I usually
It's in the
do.
name.
You Wanted a Wit.
Yeah.
What's with it?
No.
I'm sorry. That's just,
No, it's
just delete that one.
what's with you? I don't
This is the
Okay.
Too legit to
To
wit.
wit.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Is that what it's called?
no.
Oh,
You wanted a wit.
It's You Wanted a Wit. It's another
that's
song.
good. That's really good. Oh,
It's a pun of another song.
Yeah.
This is a.
Well, I have
Really punny. Come on.
I have a plan for a wit, but Wit Tang Clan. It'll be a dark wit, and it's for the children because
I don't know what it is.
for the kids.
Actually, I do know what it is. I do know what it is about wits and hefts that lend themselves so well to puns because it's just like a one syllable
man.
and it sounds like everything.
Yeah.
So Too Legit to Wit, You Wanted a Wit, Wit Tang Clan. Like it's easy to come up with those.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Hefeweizens. Like every home brewer I've ever met
Hef.
has
Yeah.
a Hugh Hefner.
Oh, man.
Do you get it? It's the guys who had girls at his house. Every
This is a male-driven
Fucking
industry.
homebrewer.
Yeah.
Anybody didn't know
has a
this.
Hugh Hefner, and every male home brewer thinks that's the funniest shit they've ever heard in their life, and
because
it angers
they're
me.
male.
It angers me.
I
It's not
wouldn't-
funny.
I
It's
would.
terrible.
It is not. No.
I didn't even
There's,
think.
Do you
I
have
never
any
thought of
Hefner?
that.
there's much better.
I can't wit you.
Can't wit
Get
you.
with you. There you go. That's
I'm for that one.
Check Untapped.
But this is a
That's how you know if it's taken.
this is amazing wit.
That
right
is
here,
our
actually.
research.
It's
Yeah.
soapy and a little flat.
Just clean beer. That's what
That's
I like.
how we get the bubbles. It's the
Yeah.
soap.
Yeah.
That's how we get the bubbles. This one, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I stole from a book.
Okay.
100%.
You can read. Should have paid you more.
This is what I'm saying.
I never learned to read.
I was hoping I was going to take advantage
I'ma
of
read.
your sympathy by getting more money by saying I'm illiterate.
There you go.
As it turns out, you thought I couldn't read my paychecks. So that's
They call it a savant.
Can't count that high, so we're good.
Anything past 8 is difficult for me.
Take off your shoes and you can count higher.
So the brewing with wheat
And
book.
6?
The
He's missing some fingers.
We're talking about beer.
Yeah,
now, guys.
we're
not.
trying to. Well, we might at some point. Anyway,
Hey,
yeah,
we are
the
now
wit.
officially 3 beers in. Hey,
This is, we're
wit-
not
the-
3
the-
beers in.
Yeah, you got to finish the beer.
Yeah,
to get 3 beers in.
be 3 beers in.
okay.
Yeah, you're premature.
Welcome to the podcast.
The brewing with wheat
This
book.
is the
Okay.
podcast.
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
Brewing with wheat.
The brewing with wheat book is amazing. And
Yeah.
There's a lot of great, just technical details about how you can brew with wheat, and then a lot of different recipes. And so this recipe is honestly an attempt from other people. I ripped it off of them, but
Yeah.
it's an attempt from other people to recreate the wit that. Oh my God, I just lost his name.
Pierre Celis.
Yes, the Pierre. Thank you, the Pierre Celis.
Well, if this is what Pierre Celis was making in Hogarden, then it is vastly different than what
Right.
Celis is making today.
Exactly.
I prefer
And
this, really,
This
though.
is far different from what Celis is making today too.
Yeah.
Like this is first attempt.
Flemish Fox.
Right. So this is very first attempt. But this is, definitely a lot
like
of
this, though.
the softness.
I could confuse this with a heft
Yeah.
almost, because you got
Yeah.
those banana notes from the wheat and from the yeast and everything. It's not really spicy.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have coriander or anything in it? Like,
Coriander and sweet orange peel.
okay, sweet. Okay,
Yeah,
there we
sweet
go.
Orange peel. Yeah.
I prefer that over the bitter orange peel, but myself.
That would be interesting if we started serving this and calling it a hef and seeing what people would say.
I've had a few people mention that.
Yeah.
I think Dave from Collective mentioned
Oh,
that.
Dave.
Yeah, we don't like Dave.
Speaking of other breweries, you said that you worked at other breweries. Can you
Oh yeah,
talk about
It's
that?
a really
I meant to
smooth
get
segue.
back to that, but
Yeah.
everything was just
That was a good call. Yeah, so started out home brewing, did that for a while, went to the American Brewers Guild in
Yeah.
Vermont, and got a certificate in intensive brewing sciences and engineering.
nice.
So I'm an engineer too. Really not.
Is not math.
Brewing
You've seen me math.
sciences.
You've seen me math. It's terrible.
Takes
And
all
then
day.
Well, that's why you have brewing calculators.
I'll show you all the different tools I use. It's
Bruce
insane.
It's called Sam and Colin.
It's called Beersmith, and Sam and Colin
Beersmith,
help
there
a
you
lot.
go.
We had an algebra lesson
yeah.
one morning.
I've already forgotten it.
Yeah, I know.
And so then, went and opened, at the time it was called Wahoo, opened up that brewery in Fort Worth, and then went to Texas Ale Project in Dallas. From there, went to Community
There you
in
go.
Dallas. From there, went to Oak Highlands, and then stopped by here. Spent a little time.
Stopped by here.
Stopped by here.
Should I know
Just,
something?
just on my way to Collective. All of this is
Yeah,
just on
that's
my
what I
way
was
to
gonna say,
Collective.
yeah.
That's the
It's right down the
goal.
road.
That's the goal. Spent some
Make it
time.
funky.
Make it funky. Spent some time before all that interning at Peticolas.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Got to work there. Yeah, a brewer and brewery who I have utmost respect for. Everything I do, I want to be as good or better than Michael Peticolas. He's the one doing it better than anyone else in North Texas.
How's your legal
Okay.
game?
My legal game is shit.
Oh, okay.
But making beer, that's the only game I hope to be able to play with him one day. There's no hope to play legal games with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I make the joke all the time that there's only one other brewer in North Texas who has worked at more breweries than I have.
Hey, Moose.
And his name is Moose, and he's currently at Flicks,
Yeah.
and he's got me beat by one.
Oh, there you go.
But honest, I mean, if we're having real talk, there's just been so many different cool things that I've learned from each different brewery,
Yeah.
in the ways that they either approach the beer or in the processes that they use, the different recipes that they have. There's so many different, ways to both look at beer and the process of making beer, but also like different contexts to see how that beer works. And so there's, a bunch of just different things that I was able to learn at each different brewery. And every day that I'm here, I can tell you exactly, I'm doing this because I learned it at Peticolas. I'm doing this because I learned it at Texas Ale. I'm doing this because I learned it at Community. All these different things. And so
Yeah.
that's what attracts, I think you guys know this. This is what attracts a lot of people to the brewing industry. It's just the collaborative,
absolutely
collaborative aspect to it, and how we're all just a community, and
just a bunch of friends making beer,
just a bunch of friends hanging out in the garage making
drinking
beer.
out a blanket.
No girls allowed. Sorry. Well, the P stands for political. But
accurate. Accurate. I don't know.
Accurate. So, I mean, that's what I really dig about it is, being able to glean just what you can from even just, conversations that you're having with people, or, asking, how did you get this beer to drop clear, or how did you get, the hops to be pronounced in this certain way? These are all issues. These are all challenges that every brewer has taken on, and every brewer has their own way to do it. So being able to have those conversations and learn those people who have had more experience than me, or more experience in different things, is a very cool thing.
Yeah.
So that was actually one of the things that we were looking for when we looked to hire a brewer, was that I've learned, because
somebody who worked at the most breweries.
I've also been a brewery whore, working at Martin House in Cowtown and several other places. It's only because I'm a woman that I can say that.
Oh.
But the fact that not only learning from different ways of brewing the beer, but also different systems.
Yeah.
So we're bringing in, a used system, setting up this new space. Harper can tell you when he came in, the equipment was here, it was not hooked up. That doesn't mean it was ready to go. And I knew I didn't have the time to do that, and I didn't have the experience to really focus on that. We were all still working full-time jobs at this point. I think I was going part-time, but still, I have a business to run. I have staff to hire. I have to hire a chef, all kinds of other things. So we wanted somebody that had seen, if you've worked on several different refrigerators or several different washing machines, each one is going to be a little different and built a little differently. And if you've worked on a few, then you can probably fix any. That's the way I was looking at it from the mechanic standpoint on running our brew house. So if you've worked at more places, you've seen more than one system and probably had more than one thing go wrong on each system. And so you're more likely to be able to adapt to our system, which you have never seen before.
Right.
That makes sense.
So about the wit.
Uh-huh.
Do we finish talking about the wit?
I don't know if, do you guys have any
you?
questions, any comments? See if there's another good one. Why aren't we writing these down?
That was not good.
We're recording it. That's why.
Because it's recorded.
It's for us.
My biggest critic
for
is Sammy
posterity.
Jo. She never likes my jokes.
She gets
Up
them.
your game. I'm just challenging you.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm making you better.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, are you Sammy Joe? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Sam,
that makes sense. I
Samantha,
know your
Sammy
name.
Joe.
My name's Samantha Jo.
I know that.
Just be sure to spell it
My family
right.
calls me Joe or Jojo.
JoJo was a man who thought he was a woman, but he was another man.
Wait,
It's the Beatles.
Also a pop star. Yeah.
is this my
Yeah,
life?
we don't need to get into Beatles and Rolling Stones right now.
Oh no, let's do it.
I just had an epiphany. Wait, is this me?
Samantha doesn't
me.
listen to the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, so she doesn't have a preference.
Yeah, we don't.
Anyway.
We don't talk about that. Any thoughts? Any comments on the wit?
Somebody's listening
Terrible.
to the Good Brew Guide.
Don't. Yeah, I appreciate that. Don't tell me that it's good. I'm not looking for pander. I'm not pandering. I'm not looking for compliments. But just if you have anything
know
you
what
want
to
to
say.
say,
What are the
man.
good things you have to say about it?
say only positive things.
The only thing, I don't know if I would want to drink a whole bunch of this.
Yeah.
Get out.
Because it is. It's. I guess it's pretty
If
filling.
you say soapy,
and,
oh my god! If you say
no.
soapy,
No, not soapy.
My
But
mouth feels so clean.
but it's the
it's
flavors.
like you just said a fucking swear word.
clean your mouth with that wit.
The flavors are just so amazing that I don't know if I could handle more.
I'm the same way. This was at our soft opening events. This was our most popular beer. But it's not for me. But I think those of us that have more refined beer palates are used to either roastier or like more bitter.
I love wits and
Like
I
more
love
flavors.
wheat in general. But if this is all there is, I probably would get tired of it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And want to switch the next beer to something, with those roasty notes or something.
And I think that's our palate.
Yeah.
Is a little bit more. We either want
It
like
just-
a crisp light lager, or we want
Yeah.
something with flavor, and we don't really want something in between.
But-
And because I'm the same
Yeah.
way.
It's just, it gets boring over time. But I love it. I love wits. I love wheats. I love everything in between.
I disagree
My favorite to brew is a wheat. So I don't know.
I disagree with you.
You son of.
I know. That's what I do.
Good cop, bad cop.
I was about to say you get more.
Son of a birch.
Give it to me.
More.
I'm not a big fan of Hefeweizens and wit beers normally. They're more of like a beer I can appreciate, but let me have something that I like.
Right.
But this is really good. It's really smooth. The problem that I have with beers that have a wheat flavor is that it gets skunky to me. Is that the right term?
Yeah.
And so, like, the second best in the world, I'm not going to name their name, Hefeweizen in the world that they claim.
Live Oak.
I just don't like it.
You're trying to think of it.
It's so gross. I know what it is. I just didn't want to say their name.
I don't like it on tap. I like it in a can myself.
I haven't had it in a can, but I've had it on tap, and it was just like...
Every time I have it on tap,
This is the second best in the world?
It tastes like a wet dog.
Yeah. No, that's right. Wet dog. That's
I get a lot of wet dog when it... Anyway, but...
Needs more dog.
No, but this one, I think this one's nice and smooth. You get like that weedy flavor. It fills my mouth. I think that I could, especially if I'm outside mowing or outside grilling, this would be a good beer for me.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on flaked wheat versus malted wheat?
So there's both in this.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
so you get a different flavor from each, right? So
yeah, and I think...
What are you looking for in your wheats?
What I'm looking for in my wheat is, with the flake wheat, definitely it's going to, add more body.
Yeah.
And just kind of like boost the mouthfeel, of course. And with the malted
also
wheats,
lend to the hazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then with the malted wheats, you'll get more of just like the, bread toasts.
Right.
Those kind of soft. It's all soft, but
so delicate dance.
Those sort of delicate dance. Yeah, that's what I'll call our Hefeweizen. That is not what I'm calling my Hefeweizen.
Trademarked.
Nobody would get it.
It's called Love Bus.
It's called Love Bus.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. It's not called Love Bus. It's called Love Bus.
Yeah.
That's the Hefeweizen that you will not be drinking today.
Oh.
I mean, we're already 3 beers in. You put the limit on yourself. I feel like this one's on you.
This is not a full beer. This is
true. That's a good point.
You didn't dictate the size.
That's what she said.
This is on you. There it is.
You dug your own hole there.
This podcast is over.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast. But yeah, I mean, with this one, I like being able to use both just to kind of, both get that bread and light toast, but also get that full body in there as well. Yeah. A lot of the times I find myself tending more towards malted as opposed to flaked. But I feel like the flaked is a muscle that I don't exercise a lot.
Yeah, I know when I was making wheats and stuff, I would generally focus on the flaked, but then I started turning to the malted to get more of that breadiness. Yeah.
How would you, if you're developing a beer recipe, how would you turn to the flake? Like, what kind of, is it just for body for you, or like when you think flaked wheat, what recipe do you think?
I think skunky.
Do you think skunky?
When it's overused.
Yeah.
I feel that you can get too much wheat, and I've done it. I've done it in a recipe, too much flaked wheat. For one, you get your mash all stuck, but then for another one, it comes out with this, like, you can't taste. I know it's a wheat because I made it, but I can't really taste like that signature wheaty taste.
Right.
It's just overall like not banana, but like half banana. I don't know how to explain it, but that wheat taste.
What?
But not like a pronounced graininess, I guess.
Yeah. So here's what I think is interesting. I think how we've described like the wheat flavor so far of like wet dog, skunk. The way that I can sometimes perceive that is hot dog.
Hot dog water.
Yes.
Right. There
hot
it
dog
is.
water. Do you know what I mean?
This is a flashback to an older episode, but
Have you ever had that? Every time I say hot dog, people think I'm nuts.
you are, but yeah. No,
and there's like some
no, but
like I can, if I taste that, I know that there's a strong amount of wheat in that.
We were at Live Oak drinking their beers, and somebody brought up hot dog water.
Sometimes I get hot dog water in that.
It was a smoked beer, but it was. I think it was their Grodzisky, which is weedy, I believe. But yeah,
well, it's also smoked. Yeah,
yeah.
There's luckily, I can't remember, specifically which beer or brewery does it, because otherwise I would accidentally throw them under the bus. But you got to have that Ryan Deo energy.
Oh man,
Scott Baio.
He is not who I thought he was. I do not want him in charge of my days or my nights. Little Charles in Charge reference.
Oh, that's the Bob. This is the Bob. Yeah, very good. So we've poured you a fourth beer.
Okay.
So now we are officially 3
You're
beers
welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you go.
So what is
Wow.
this one?
Okay.
This is our double or our Imperial
Yes.
IPA
Yeah.
called Bob. We Had a Baby, It's a Boy.
I'd like to make a collect call, please. First name Bob. Last name is We Oughta Baby Eats a Boy.
So who's calling? It's Bob. They had a baby. It's a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, of the 3 hoppy beers we were discussing earlier, this is the one that's going to be more balanced.
This is my
That
favorite
is
IPA.
really nice.
I would
But
agree
this
that
is
it's very balanced.
More of the West Coast.
This is why I loved having Resilience on tap everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Is because I love the West Coast balanced IPAs.
Yeah.
Is my favorite style, and our Imperial IPA is what fits the bill on the menu at the moment.
And the thing I like about the Resilience is it has a heavy dose of crystal malts in there, which a lot of people, they'll just use pale or people, breweries, whatever. They'll use a lot of pale and then they'll throw hops at it. And it's like, I want some malty backbone to it.
So do you want to talk about the malts that are in this?
Yeah, sure, why not? Of course.
So I think this is like 60 some odd % Maris Otter. So I just did a
Nice.
I just did a
Well, IPAs are English, so
right. So I just did a 7-barrel of it. So I think it was like 5 bags Maris Otter,
Yeah.
3 bags pale, 1 bag wheat, and then I think it's like 20 kilograms of C60, and that's it.
kilograms.
Yeah,
really?
this is a metric world.
Yeah.
Get on the bus.
No,
Love bus.
pounds
I
and
want to
ounces.
hear inches.
Get on the
Pounds and
bus.
ounces, man.
Liquid inches?
No, fuck
I don't
that
know.
shit. Yes, liquid inches. Yes.
Fluid inches. I'm sorry.
Is that where we're gonna?
My car gets 5 acres to the hogshead, and that's the way I like it.
5 acres to the hogshead. Oh, that's so good. So yeah, like there's still like some of the crystal flavor, but man, if we're gonna be talking about toasty, roasty caramel,
Yeah.
I would much rather have that from a kilned malt than
Okay, yeah.
like a roasted, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want like that sugary, crystalline, unfermentable that's just gonna linger there.
Right.
I'd rather have that again more on like the bready side. That's just where I live.
No,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
I definitely understand that.
and I'm also a fan of just throwing malted wheat in an IPA, mostly for head retention and body.
Yeah,
because if you throw in too many unfermentables, then it gets too cloying.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's like sticky in your mouth, and
Yeah.
that's not what you want from an IPA. You want to, generally dry it out so that it's like, oh man, I want another sip now.
Yeah, but yeah, and speaking again about Centennial and Chinook, that was one of my favorite parts about having Resilience on. Is I think that hop bill was all Centennial. I might be wrong. Like Centennial or Cascade, one of the C hops.
Yeah.
Like that was it. I think it was.
Are those all trademarked?
No, those are open to the public. Anyone can use them.
Open source.
As the earth should be.
You can't, own a potato, man. It's one of Mother Earth's creatures.
This is what I'm saying. Mother Gaia gave us from her bountiful womb, gave us the water, the grain, the hops, the yeast, all provided to us from our good mother. Why are you trying to take that, put a trademark on
Hope
that,
y'all
and say
are all
now?
enjoying your granola this morning.
Now I own this.
But she had to summon Captain Planet to be her defender,
No, fuck
right?
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet's
I'm
dick.
on record as saying fuck Captain Planet.
You are.
But he's a hero. He's going
Is
to
he?
take pollution down to zero.
Captain Planet, motherfucker.
Like
Has he? Has he?
has he though? This is what I'm saying.
If he wasn't
He's
there,
going
imagine.
That's
He's
the PN
going
political.
to. Okay.
Imagine how
He
much
hasn't
pollution.
gotten there yet.
Sorry.
Funky pollution.
The man is trying to. Let's not get that out there. I'd rather talk more about how we're choosing this over heroin than saying
you
the
go.
P stands for.
Skymal's still considering
now.
it. How much Schlemmer still considering it? Sears said no.
We can't say that the man is going to dictate what we brew, what we use.
It's a woman.
Yeah, there you go.
No, big corporations are the man. Like they're like the dicks, like trying
And
to
Mother
control
Nature is the
everything.
woman.
And Mother Nature is the woman. Mother Nature is like giving. She's
There you
nurturing.
go.
This is why we need more women in the beer
We
industry.
need more women in the beer
This is a
industry.
good segue. Thank you,
And
Harper.
not just making like
Pink Boot
pastry
Society.
stouts.
What?
Yeah, don't say this is a way that we celebrate women, and then say, oh, and you're making a donut beer.
Harper,
You're making
Harper,
a pastry beer.
Are you allowed to brew with the Pink Boots hop?
With permission, yes.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I have asked, and they have allowed me to do so.
Actually, technically, because that is a partnership, everybody is allowed to buy the Pink Boots hop blend, whether you're partnering with Pink Boots or not, because a portion of the hop sales actually go back, as well as the yeast sales. White Labs had done a yeast strain for the Pink Boots this year as well. Yeah, so a portion of both of the sales of either go back. So whether
when Y Yeast does it, let me know. But,
I think it was White Lab. It could have been Y Yeast.
Ah,
I really
damn
don't
it.
remember. I'd have to look. I'm really bad.
Let's circle back to that. So with Pink Boots.
But yeah, with Pink Boots. So we did buy the Pink Boots hop blend, but because really the
did you use it in anything?
The collaboration brew
We
day
will soon.
is traditionally in March around International Women's Day. And we did not have power. As women, we did not have power.
Okay. I thought as the brewery, you didn't have
No, the brewery did not have power.
okay.
As a matter of fact,
women, the brewery did not have
those
power.
assholes at Collective stole our hops for a while so that they could stay cold and viable.
Oh, yeah.
But so we have a whole bunch of hops still, and we're planning on July 27th, correct? That we're going to do our Pink Boots Brew Day. So we'll be doing both a 7-barrel and a 1-barrel batch. We'll be doing 2 separate beers. So the 1-barrel batch will be completely designed by our Pink Boots North Texas group, and it'll be so that we can showcase. I don't know what either recipe is going to look like yet.
Yeah.
Just since our 7-barrel system, we're still new and we're still figuring out the kinks. Harper's designing the recipe for the big system, but all of our Pink Boots group will be here brewing both of them. And the point is whether we change the malt or change the yeast or do a pale ale that's bitter versus a hazy IPA that all of the hops are only used after the boil.
Yeah.
We want to showcase the 2 beers next to each other and say, hey, these use the same hops, but look how different they are.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I always enjoy that. It's like you can take the same ingredients and then come up with 2 almost completely different beers.
Mm-hmm. And it's an education point for the public as well as for our local chapter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like Sam was telling me, just kind of the different kind of like flavor points and different kind of ideas, concepts that the group had for the beer that they would like to brew. And it really like energized me as well too, of just saying what they're looking at is using all of the hops in a late edition and seeing what sort of flavors they can get out of the late edition. And so if we are going to do, which we are, since we're going to be doing like kind of like an education thing as like a comparison thing, it's like, well, that opens up this whole new territory for me of being able to use the hops as like a bittering thing or as like something as a first wort hop edition, all that kind of stuff. That was like the one like redeeming quality for hazy IPAs for me for a while. I'm an ally.
He is an ally.
He found one redeeming quality.
He loves
one
Mother
thing
Gaia.
I could say about women. But like that was the like one redeeming quality I found for hazy IPAs before I, recognized them as a style because it's up to me.
Yeah,
as a white
exactly.
man. It was like a really cool way to showcase what hops can do. Yeah. So it's not just again, we were talking about how 6 years ago, 7 years ago, what we thought of hops were just scraping your tongue bitter. Right. And so we were looking for alpha acids, and that's it. We weren't looking for beta alphids or beta acids and all these different things to try and, get lupanol and geranol and all these other different kind of, aroma qualities, all these different kinds of like aroma oils. We just wanted bitterness, and that's it. Bitterness or GTFO.
Right.
So that,
is that like GMOs?
I'm not sure I've ever heard anybody actually say that.
Say GTFO or bitterness or GTFO?
You've been around enough 14-year-old girls.
That is true.
Grape trees forever.
I mean, but good on you for not being around 14-year-old girls.
Just seen it typed a whole lot. Yeah,
every now and then I know a thing that 14-year-old girls know.
Yeah, there you
but that's only because... Let me start this again. My wife...
Because you're on Twitter.
my wife... My wife is a middle school teacher.
There you go.
And she's a volleyball coach and a basketball coach in cross country.
There you go. Okay.
That's why sometimes I know what 14-year-old girls know.
She should be.
She's not sure.
Named Helga.
That's a good callback to a conversation they don't know about.
Yeah.
No.
So
it's always the best.
Those are always my callbacks.
It's always good to start what I said with My wife is a teacher. She works with 14-year-old girls, and that's why sometimes I know what's happening
with 14-year-old
girls.
Their bodies are changing, and
yeah, I'm out. Yep, we're out. We're not talking about this anymore. So this is our Imperial IPA. It's called Bob We Had a Baby, It's a Boy, and I think this is
not a
good
14-year-old girl.
Jesus, don't.
We didn't have a 14-year-old. That would be awkward.
Congratulations
for
to
many
everyone
reasons.
on that
So
one.
painful.
Honestly,
Do y'all have children? Any of y'all have children?
I have dogs.
Dogs?
So.
Dog, cats?
Houseplants.
Houseplants.
You don't need to walk them as much. So
We just had to take our dog to the vet this morning because we thought that he hurt his hip.
he just needed his anal glands expressed.
Yes. He was crying last night.
Is that a real thing?
No, yeah.
Yes.
So we were touching his hip and he was screaming. I was like, oh, God.
lower,
Yeah.
lower.
No, I don't know why I did that. But anyway, we thought that maybe he hurt himself because he runs and he jumps on the fence with
He's
my
an
other
idiot.
dog. He is kind of an idiot. And my other one he's a mutt. He never gets hurt. But they both like chase squirrels and jump off the fence. Like they don't jump over. They just kind of launch off the fence.
Yeah, dude.
And I just
They
thought
jump
that
onto it and then jump off.
off like just to get really high towards the squirrel so
Yeah.
they could talk to it.
Yeah.
And
Parkour. That's what they call it.
exactly.
Parkour.
Yeah.
Parkour.
Parkour.
With a B for Bart.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me explain the joke to you.
There you
It's typically parkour.
Oh, can you
Starts
explain
with
it to me?
P,
I'm a
but
woman.
Yeah, it's true. Women aren't funny.
Thank you.
So it's parkour. Do you know what parkour is?
No.
So it's a YouTube phenomenon.
I don't know anything. I'm a woman.
It
So
was in a
YouTube
James
is a platform
Bond film.
for showing videos online. So
we
the
go.
internet is a series of tubes.
Tube City. Tube City.
Is this where the Wi-Fi's come from?
I think it's pronounced Wi-Fi.
Oh my God, there's a FBI van out there.
You've probably seen in the wild like FBI van Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
No, well,
He used to have that.
I have a
for-
Nextdoor app, and you can see your
okay.
neighbors and the old people.
Yeah.
I've heard people say like, "Oh my God, the FBI's here."
Yeah, that's one of the
Say the
dumbest
least.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you're offended by that. That's one of the dumbest jokes.
No, it doesn't offend me at all.
It's like FBI van on
Yeah.
your Wi-Fi.
He wasn't really
I've
sorry
never
either.
actually done FBI van myself. Yeah. So my dog's anal
So you're
anal glands.
always
expressed.
steering it back to the ass.
Yeah.
Mine's
I am
just-
about the ass.
My Wi-Fi name is Samsonite, and the password
Oh, that's
for
pretty good.
everybody that wants to know
Okay.
is I was way off.
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
That's good.
Turning Point's Wi-Fi is called, I think it's like Turning Point Corporate or something like that, which is funny in and of itself. And then their password, I think, is like 424-2069 boobs or something,
With a Z?
Big boobs with a Z.
something like that.
Boobless in all letters. I mean,
spelled it with my calculator.
All numbers, yeah. No, you
gotta turn
turn
it
your
upside
phone
down.
upside down. Yeah. There you
Yes,
go.
it's 5537-8008. Right?
There you go. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it is.
So.
And I would do it the other way, so it would be like 8008
You're right.
That was already too many numbers for me.
7355.
All this math.
Minus. No, I don't know. That is, just let's
Is that for the A cups? Or?
delete that part. Delete the minus.
That's cool. She's a chick. She can say that.
Do you ever go down to Sears and squeeze the bras because they're gonna have boobs in them? Anyway.
Really?
never mind. No.
Like the grandma bras, or
No. What? Well.
who buys bras at Sears?
Have you seen the Sears catalog?
Yes, there's a real think piece here about a bra sale.
No judgment. No, what? It's getting awkward.
One of my favorite. Let me
need more beer.
say this in this space.
Favorite thing about 14-year-old girls.
This is one of my favorite things about being able to work with Sam is seeing how different guys will interact with her in a different thing, in like different contexts and different environments. And one of my favorite things about Sam is she'll call out something that was awkward and then just let it sit and just watch them struggle. And it's so great. Like, you buy bras at Sears? And then just look at you. Like, explain everything that you just said. You said like 5 things wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait and see if you picked up on all of them.
Right. Well, in our first podcast, I started off by saying,
How did you and Alyssa hook up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really worried about Alyssa's fiance finding out.
Right.
about that.
You don't want her to know.
It's just kind of on the DL.
I mean, maybe he
outed
did
us
want to
on
know.
the podcast.
I don't know.
We had a.
I mean, they're married now, so
That's
I guess
true.
it's going okay. She also left town, so I haven't heard from her since.
Is she not
Boo.
at RAW anymore?
No, she's not.
Oh,
she went into the corporate world to make the real money.
Women.
Lame.
I know.
We
The man.
I had some friends come by this week, and they were all here to hang out here, or whatever. I have friends.
There's that one guy on the podcast.
I have a friend, and so
can't call your coworkers.
I was
friends.
introducing them. Well,
definitely not.
So I had some coworkers stop by, and I was going to introduce them to Sam and our friend D, who is out there.
Yeah.
And I said, "So hey, Sam and D, these are my friends. So and so and so and so." And they went straight to D, who is a man.
Yeah.
And Sam just sat there like this, and like normally anyone else would
That
kind
was
of
holding my
extend
hand
their
out,
hand.
by the way.
Yeah. This isn't a visual thing.
Okay.
So Sam extended her hand, and then they all went to go shake the man's hand first.
Made eye contact and shook their hand.
Any other person,
Eye
any other,
contact,
I feel
ugh.
like in polite society, I don't know.
Yes.
Measure my words here.
Absolutely.
In polite society, like anyone else would pull their hand back and then wait for their turn. But Sam just stood there with her hand extended and then waited for her turn.
I'm the one that owns the brewery you're at.
Yeah.
This is what I'm
Dee's
saying.
visiting.
Yeah.
And drinking our beer for free.
He has been drinking a lot of our beer for free.
Have you met Dee?
He's like our brewery cat.
Hi, Dee.
Oh,
He bought a TABC yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
yeah.
said he wanted more turkey, so I told him that's a $3 upcharge.
Oh. Dang.
So that makes it a $50 sandwich.
Yes. But we have $2 beers.
I
Just
do
kidding.
love
Oh, what? Oh, dang.
Yeah, that happens a lot, is the fun thing. And I think that's one of the things that's made me succeed in this industry is the fact that I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I will sit there, and if you start talking to the person next to me, I had a guy fixing one of our pieces of kitchen equipment. My landlord happened to be here. I didn't even know they had a conversation before. We were talking about something else that needed fixed. And he came up and started talking directly to my landlord, even though he dealt with me before.
Yeah.
But he didn't even acknowledge me. And even my
Oh.
landlord, directed it to me because he knows. He was like, come on. And I appreciate that with Harper and with Rob, that both of them understand when that's happening, and it happens
Yeah.
a lot, is that somebody will just completely ignore me when I'm the one that they need to be talking to.
Well, and
because I'm a pretty big deal.
You're a pretty big deal. And forgive me, we're getting real. Thank you for letting us get real on this podcast.
Sorry, this is what happens when you have a woman on a podcast.
I know this.
We fuck up the shit.
I know that you feel this every day, but it's been a revelation to me. It's been a revelation to me.
A woman would have
often
said it
happens.
right.
Like how being able to see it like myself, like experience myself, like it happens
As a woman.
all the time.
You're not experiencing this as a woman.
Well,
As a vegan.
Yeah, you drew a
All
line
the
there
time.
that I don't know if I would have drawn. But no, like it happens so frequently.
Yeah.
That like I don't think I ever would have said like, oh, girls are just complaining. I don't think I ever would have brushed off.
Yeah.
But like realizing how frequently it happens.
Oh, yeah.
So for the state guild, like the Brewer State Guild meeting this year, we got to go to Austin and check out, be a part of the state guild and be a part of that community. Check out a bunch of
That's
different
why
breweries.
it was so terrible that weekend.
Yeah.
You mean wonderful.
Harper was there.
Yeah.
It was well, and it was awesome. It was a lot
But
of
so
fun.
was I. I balanced them out.
Yeah.
We got to go down there. It was great. And a lot of the breweries that we saw, like 3 different breweries that we saw, had ferns hanging in the brewery. And I didn't know if that was like a part of a secret club or if that's a thing.
I've never
Frilly
heard of that.
But I thought, yeah. How do you feel about frilly toothpicks?
Form.
So I saw all these ferns, and I thought, hey man, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, I just dig that.
Just having,
I like
yeah,
having
plants.
just like something like green and
Yeah.
vibrant and alive. Because a lot of breweries you go to, they're just production spaces.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of concrete and stainless steel and whatever. So I wanted to bring ferns in.
Yeah.
So Sam and I talked about it. We've got ferns. She got a good deal.
Nice.
Baller.
Free.
There have been more
But-
people than I ever expected who have come in, seen the ferns, and said, "Sam, make you do that." Like somehow they drew a line from
Women,
a plant
all-
to women, and like I would have never guessed that. I don't even know where that comes from.
No, it was the vegan.
And like guys who I
Draw
wouldn't
another
have,
line.
guys who I wouldn't have said like you're a misogynist. I don't think it's a misogynist thing. I think it's just
Like plants.
like a gap. You know what I mean? Like you just make these little assumptions and move on.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
It is. That women are frilly, and I kill plants, by the way. It's,
Yeah.
we're
As
working
does
on,
my
wife.
We're working on the opening and
ferns
closing
are harder
checklist,
to
and
kill,
I'm like,
so-
What about a red fern?
are they? Because in
I
here,
know where that grows.
There's dead dogs there.
Oh,
Be
it's
careful.
so sad.
Do you do it with a hatchet? What other fifth grade books can we mention?
Too far.
Hatchet 2.
Old Yeller. If we're just going to talk dead dogs.
What do you do with that shotgun, Travis?
Jesus Christ. Continue.
But on the flip side, what I will say is one of the things I loved is that when we didn't even have power. And we were in here, and I think we went to just like a little longer lunch waiting for things to happen. And came back, and it was me and Harper and our chef Josh, and we came in, and they, like from the day before, had gotten the light fixtures put up. They had put the bar tops in, which are a live edge pecan wood, so they're beautiful. And then I had also gotten the tap handles in, so I was able to put the tap handles on all 15 of our taps. And all of a sudden, it just like transformed the bar.
Right.
And both of them sat there and said that this doesn't feel like a brewery. And to me, I feel like that's a nod to women. Having more women in the industry makes them not look so cookie cutter and gives you a little bit of diversity. So even if it was my idea, what's the problem with having ferns in the brewery? Like, right. I don't care. We do have plants all in the tap room and everything. But like, that
was going to be a question of mine, was like, are those live plants? And then I saw someone walk with a pitcher of water, and I was like, they are live plants.
Today is watering day, so. Again, I kill
Friday
plants. So we actually worked with a local place called Grow, and they came in and repotted them for us so I didn't fuck it up. And then they told me you only have to water these once a week, and this is what you do. And so it's on the open and closed checklist.
Nice.
I can hire people to not kill the plants.
Nice.
Because I have a black thumb. But like, what is the problem with having a little bit of difference? So this brewery, so you have ferns in your brewery, like, so you have this. It doesn't matter if we saw it in Austin or if it was Harper's idea or my idea or anybody's idea. Like, let's have more diversity in this industry and more diversity in the spaces that we're in. And the easiest way to do that is just by inviting more people to enjoy it with you that don't exactly look like you, that maybe buy bras at Sears or
that was the most sincere saying. Maybe you buy bras at Sears. I don't know.
It's the softer side.
I could not. I don't feel like I would have the
walked
support I
through
would
that
need.
area to get to the Craftsman tools. So.
Which are not, they're no longer proprietary to Sears.
But they have a lifetime warranty.
That's true.
So you guide me along with this, Sam. I feel like the point we would like to get to, from my standpoint,
profitable.
Is that, yes.
The men's standpoint.
Point two is profit.
Only thing that's important.
I feel like we would like to get to the point to where it's not a big deal that a woman brewed it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, no, I totally understand that.
And not make it like as a selling point of this is a female-owned brewery.
Right. That's definitely a thing. I also will say, though, I do not brew these beers.
Right.
That I've barely even been able to be in there when he's brewing. Because
did you say barely?
Yeah. No, I did not.
That means the joke was dumb.
I did.
Anyway.
I did say it, but it was bear, like rar bear.
There you go.
Roar, roar, roar. No one understands you, she-bear.
But because even just a woman owning a brewery, like, that doesn't need to be something different. I mean, I appreciate the free press, but it doesn't need to be something that articles have to be written about or anything like that. Because I do have other people that are in this with me, and we are majority woman owned. Between me, the other partners are investors, but we also have a lot of men that support us and are in this with us, as well as our staff. And I think, and just that equality and that diversity is really important. I don't think it should matter what anybody looks like or how big their boobs are or where they buy their clothes.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
that's the other thing is, like, it's at the end of the day, the experience overrides everything. Someone has a good experience and they forget what their prejudices were or their whatever was blocking them from proceeding. Once they have the experience, it's great. And that it's unfortunate that there's things that stop someone from having a good experience.
So I don't have an insight. I don't have an insight into the analytics for other breweries' social media.
Right.
I will say when we did our groundbreaking back last July, we had a roof and walls and a floor, but that was about it in the space. Right. And we did a groundbreaking party. It was 109 degrees. It was miserable, but there was some free beer that the TABC hated. But when I looked at the analytics on Facebook as to who was interested in that, it was majority women.
Yeah.
And I think just having a woman-owned brewery helped push that, whereas only a third of craft beer drinkers are women. Already just having a woman-owned brewery, even though I don't think we're doing anything different. I'm not doing anything different specifically because we're majority woman-owned.
Yeah.
It's just doing something that maybe appeals to a wider variety.
Like it's your perspective, it's your context that other people don't think about. Like they don't see it in that way.
And that's the same. Like when we have this beautiful mural that Kristen Sobel did for us that is in our brewery. And when she asked, she said, well, what are the things you like? And I said, I don't want it to just be about us. I want it to be about the community.
Pink.
So what are the things that, it's all pink, by the way. It's pink and purple.
Make sure there's tons of flowers and unicorns and teddy bears.
And hearts and...
Did you said teddy bears?
Teddy bears is what I heard.
Yeah, that is also what I heard. I thought Harper might have heard it. He cocked his head a little bit, like
it was a Freudian slip, but I wasn't going to mention it because
nice teddy bears.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Bears
I'd
with
put teddy bears on the wall. No. This is a family-friendly place.
Jesus, Salmon's making a point. Stop talking about tits.
We're right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What I want to happen is whenever you guys post this episode, I want you to post it with a note that says, start at the end. Because this is where the important shit is happening.
Yeah, that is true. It is true. Yeah.
Talk about the beer and the sandwiches.
This is kind of really what I wanted to focus on when we were at RAR.
Pink boots.
Yeah.
We never really got there.
Yeah, we were just drinking.
Head.
Yeah. Bitch, and then, some weird, like, woman relationship you're having with...
I mean...
With another woman.
I don't consider it weird.
It's not weird. It's weird to a man. Clearly.
If you were a man.
If I was a man, it'd be weird to have a relationship with a woman.
I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. She does this so well.
This is not what I'm saying. This is what Chance is saying.
It's a lot of fun for me.
How do you do this? How do you do this?
Honestly, what it is just like holding up a mirror and just saying, you did it. You look at it.
Well, and I've actually seen this a lot more. I've seen comments from women that are like, when people make misogynistic comments, just saying like, I don't get it. Why is it funny? And then making them explain
it's
it.
So
and
good.
It's like,
it works.
Oh. Well, and I've talked about this before, but one of the things that was one of the biggest things when we first started opening this brewery, again, not alone. I'm not the only one that does this. I just happen to be the face of the brewery, which isn't common. Usually, my business partner, Colin, does a lot of the back end stuff. He still has the day job. Usually, that's the woman or the wife or whoever that's behind the scenes putting in just as much work. They're just not the face. So one of the things I always got was, oh, you and your husband or you and your boyfriend are opening a brewery. Whether they knew me or not. By the way, I've been single for 8 years. So, like, it's not like I even have anybody at home, but whether I did or not, that's not who I'm doing this with.
Right,
and that was and it's not a bad question. It's just that when I asked the guys that I know that have opened breweries, so how often did you get asked, so you're opening a brewery with your wife? And they said, never.
No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
And then they were like, man, that must really suck. Okay, now I get it. It's more, like I said, it's more about the equality. Like, that's the most common question I get, even if somebody just met me, if they've known me for a while, whatever. Hey, you're opening this with somebody else. Like, obviously, you're a woman. You can't do this on your own. So,
or you have no interest in beer.
Right.
Yeah.
So who is
you
the man?
You have to have somebody to take care of you.
Who's the man that introduced you to home brewing? You know, like, oh, so your boyfriend got you into home brewing.
Right.
You know, you don't.
I mean,
have
that's
to
how it
have
happened with Harper, right?
His boyfriend did get him into home brewing. His name's Alex.
Oh, that's nice.
He is a hunk.
Oh
my God.
Oh, I see a bear. Cool.
Lucky.
Brother, he is a chocolate bear.
A titty bear?
He's not a bear.
You don't think Alex is a bear?
No.
He's pretty clean shaven. I'm more of the bear than
a lobster?
He's also not a bigger dude.
No, he's a small spoon for me. He's a little spoon for me.
Okay.
I can just kind of like toss him around like a rag doll.
That's where I was going, but you went there before I did.
We've made people really uncomfortable with this talk.
Toss him around, though. That's what you like.
He wears these leather shoes. These leather boots.
He also does not like
But you're a vegan, so...
I mean, you know
But
what?
you have
Sometimes it's a
leather-
little dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what you dig. Maybe I'm a leather daddy.
You have leather suits. Oh, there you go.
I don't know. I have
Like Daddy likes leather?
I have a type I'm learning.
Okay.
Yeah, I am married to a woman, and we have been married for.
She's okay with it.
She's been going on for 10 years.
Okay.
Oh, congrats.
But I'm finding when it comes to men, I have a type.
I'm finding this as well.
And I'm like, I'm not acting on it. I'm thinking about it. And I'm not acting on it.
Okay.
Thinking about it you're acting on it in your head.
No, I'm just thinking about what would it be like.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Like if I came home and just like,
Uncomfortable, or-
if I came home and just like, kind of talked to him and just kind of shared what happened with my day.
You watch sports together. Or
I don't-
homebrew.
I don't watch sports.
There you go.
He can
Okay.
watch sports.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'll cook for him.
There you
But
go.
I mean, like,
He'll watch the sports.
what if Brad Pitt came on to you? Like, you would reject him at first.
yeah.
what if you cooked for each other?
But if he kept...
See, that's the relationship I'm into. I recognize that you're making a reference. I don't get it, but I recognize it. But yes, I would like to be able to cook for each other, share recipes with one another. Maybe he makes me some vegan menudo. And
I don't know what's menudo with you.
Jesus Christ. That was so bad.
That's classic Chance.
That's
That's his joke.
That's my joke.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, chatting with us.
Of course. No, thanks for having us. You have some really good beers.
Coming and enjoying.
And we haven't had all the beers.
Is there any other questions you guys have? Anything else you want to chat about? I'm taking control and trying to end this right now.
I guess so.
But if you guys,
we gotta wait.
this is your
we gotta
show.
wait for
We
Sammy
got
Joe.
Sammy we got to end with Sammy.
No, she's done.
She's done?
No, she'll probably come back. I think she's.
We'll see.
She's seeing a man about a horse. I think.
Why is it got to be a man?
Can't be a woman.
did you want to get some of either your favorite additive beer and your favorite name? It's a twofer. Or the Belgian Waffle Triple. Harper was really excited to make a peanut butter beer.
Yeah.
Because he had never done one. He just had always wanted to work with peanut butter. I'm going to go through this while he's not here.
Yeah.
He also really likes the name Two Peanut Butters, One Cup.
Yeah.
He just think it really evokes some really good imagery.
Right.
And visual reaction that
Right.
goes with the beer and the flavors. I'm just kidding. He never wanted to make a peanut butter beer, and he absolutely
You had me believing it.
I get it.
refuses to use the name Two Peanut Butters, One Cup. He
I
calls
get
it
it.
Stout or PB Stout. That's
I
why
think that name is taken.
Trademarked.
I know, so we can't use it.
You can't use
I
that.
know.
You got.
But what about your names?
You have
can't.
to save.
How do you
have to
trademark
save
your
it.
own names?
You have to trademark it, maybe.
I mean, a lot of money.
Copywritten. It's copywritten, so don't copy me.
There you go.
So I wanted to ask. We came
Here we
by
go.
in December, right? It was this late December, early January,
Something like that.
One of those two
Maybe
times.
January? I don't know.
November. No, we recorded in November, so it had to be like December. Yeah.
It was
December or
like
January,
early
yeah.
December, January, early
All
January.
thrilling podcast.
Yes.
material
So
here.
we
You're welcome.
sorry. Let me start over. So we came down at the end of last year, early of this year, and it looked like it had a long way to go.
Yeah, there was nothing. There
We
was,
are
Right.
6 months later.
Right, and that's
you had the entry point.
it was muddy. It was muddy around.
It was.
It was. We
There was
had to
muddy.
wait on the road to be finished.
Yeah. There was
no parking
which took
lot.
a while. There was no. We couldn't do the parking lot until the road was finished.
Right.
So that took a while. We couldn't paint the exterior until
a
all of
while.
that was done. So the outside definitely looked really rough for a long time.
It looks
and then-
nice now. I like
yeah.
it.
It's
I like
awesome.
how clean it is on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the white or like off-white exterior
Yeah.
with the black trim looks really
yeah.
nice.
And then your logo in black. That
Yeah,
looks
we have
really
a
cool.
really cool sign that's like a steel cut version of our logo.
Yeah.
That's LED backlit that
Nice.
was done by Royalty Signs and our
RoyaltySigns.com.
sign queen of Fort Worth. And so yeah, we were really happy. I've told Harper this, like
Oh,
sometimes I get a little nervous, because I'm a control freak. Working with I mean, it's the engineer. I'm very logical, and I wouldn't say I'm exactly a control freak, but I like to know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I think especially when you're spending money and it needs to fit in with your vision of your business. We worked with a lot of artists in this space. So between the mural and the sign, our glassware, which you heard us talking about earlier, our tap handles, our tables, a lot of stuff. We really said, here's what we're looking at, here's our space, and put it in the hands of other people. And sometimes I get really nervous until they arrive.
Right.
It was better than I could have imagined with the signs. It exceeded my expectations with the signs. These tables also, I think, are really a good... I brought them in, and I know that they have amazing work. It's Brother Sister Design here in the near South Side. They do a lot of work, and they're really busy right now. But they took inspiration from our bar stools, which have a really rough wood seat, and they tried to take that roughness into the tables while matching the color of the ceilings. And I think,
I didn't notice that.
And then still making it nice and smooth and cleanable so that it's really easy to use for service.
Right. Yeah.
And I felt like, for something which for us can seem as simple as tables.
Right.
You just
something
need
that
tables in
you
here.
really don't even think about. It's like, we need to get some tables.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that it pulling in those little elements really just makes the whole place
yeah,
come
I think
together.
it really fits in with the space. It's really remarkable. I didn't even think about it. It's like, it just looks like this is where these tables go. Yeah.
And we've worked with probably 5 or 6 different artists on different things.
That's really cool.
And part of that's us trying to make this a community spot, work with the local artists in the community, support our community, they support us. We're all in this together, and that's what we're all about here. We want that. We want to be that local hangout spot.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Chance.
What's up, Ross?
Has this ever happened to you? You're walking around the South Side area, and you feel like there's more missing from your life.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no melody. You're craving a more musical life.
Been there.
What should you do? That's right, heroin. But before that, check out Harps by Harper. At Harps by Harper, they have everything for your harp needs. They have pedal harps, Celtic harps, wire harps, cross-string harps, harps, double harps, triple harps, mouth harps, elbow harps, coccyx harps, larp harps, carp harps, and the world according to garp harps. It's an embarrassment of harps. If you...
An embarrassment of harps! Beer name, call it.
Oh my gosh, that would be a great beer name.
An embarrassment of
You
harps.
called it, but I'm typing it.
I'm having to.
If you try Harps by Harper, you won't go back to those other harp stores. They make the competition go into hiding. No one can handle their prices. We promise you won't go baroque. And right now, you can get 10% off any brand new harps. No strings attached. Harps by Harper. It's a Harper thing. All right.
I feel like we need to pull the old OG out for that one.
Man.
That made me so happy.
Tears.
Is this a thing you do
Also-
on every podcast? You write free ad copy?
I try to. Yeah.
What beer?
I don't generally do it when we have guests, but I felt
this
this
is
was...
Even when he guest stars on other podcasts, he still brings commercials.
Right.
What beer would embarrassment by Harps be?
It's an embarrassment of harps.
Oh, sorry. I just figured it was by you.
You calling him a liar?
I signed ownership.
I want something golden. I like golden strong, I think.
Yeah.
I want like a
Nice.
golden strong. I want like
Like you're going to
bright,
get
sharp
drunk and be
flavors.
embarrassing on your harp.
That's going to be my malt liquor. It's called an embarrassment of Harper.
I wonder, seriously, can we do this beer?
Mm-hmm.
And then I will reach out to the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra and see if we can have a harpist play at the beer release.
Yes.
I don't know what
Yes.
this is going to cost. This
Very much
money
like,
is just made up.
Very much like the first season of Gilmore Girls, where she's just like in there playing.
That's my next...
playing
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
damn it.
she's going to cuss and yell a lot.
I want our harpists to be in here and just be angry at everyone.
Hey, do I look like I got Panasonic stamped on my ass?
Yeah.
So,
and have the angry
so would
harp
you
music.
be an Emily, a Paris, a Rory, or a Lorelei Harper?
Oh,
I really like that you said all those names looking at me and then turned to Harper.
I practiced
Emily.
that.
You said Emily, Lorelei, Paris, or Rory?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I'm none of those. I am none of those. Maybe Lorelei, but I'm nowhere near strong.
Lane?
He tries to be Luke.
Oh, yeah.
I aspire
everybody
to-
wants
I
to be
aspire to-
Luke.
Who,
I
wants,
aspire
who
to
doesn't
Luke.
want to be Luke?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
He hates people, and so do I. Turning his hat around. Oh, no. He doesn't have it. He
failed twice.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I would probably be closer to Lorelai. I think just like some of like the rebellious, like anti-establishment,
Got
like,
it.
fuck you, I'll do it on my own kind of attitude. But even then, like she's got more tenacity than I do.
Yeah.
Certainly not a Paris. Nowhere near an Emily.
Oh no.
God, if I could be an Emily.
Yeah. Oh.
I would love to be
in
an
the
Emily.
in the last season when she's at that DAR meeting. Oh, and she actually tells people what she thinks. She's my spirit animal.
Was it the mini series? Yeah. When she just like because her husband,
Richard's dead,
Richard
and so
died,
she's tired
and she's
of,
like not getting out of bed. That's
Yeah.
the Emily I would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's noon. You're still in bed, Grandma?
Here's what's crazy is for as much fun as it was to watch A Year in the Life as a Gilmore Girls fan.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it twice.
No. I did
Rory
it twice,
was-
but the second time was painful. Like Passion of the Christ.
It's like, what the fuck, Rory?
The only redeeming qualities are like the minor characters.
Yeah.
Like the characters that, Amy Sherman Palladino kind of shits on.
Yeah.
So like the Lane story is great to watch. And she doesn't really shit on Emily.
Why
but
are
even
they
then,
still
Emily's
doing
not
covers?
primary.
Why is Hep Alien still doing
I don't
covers?
even know. It's so dumb.
They've been together for. They have Sebastian Bach as their lead guitarist. Why are they?
But yeah, like I think is it the last like season or whatever in that series where Emily just like buys her own house and she's a docent at the whaling museum and you just see her there by herself and she's got all of her I guess
She's her
workers,
own person
but she's her
as
own
a
person
woman?
there. Yeah.
What?
That's just crazy.
You can't do that.
So if I could only be an Emily. But yeah, like that whole scene with
I was
the
never
DIR
one.
where she's
Yeah.
like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah.
Just calls it out. This is bullshit.
Why are we're letting her in the DAR? Wait, what was it? Because she has big tits, or was
She's
that?
blonde and has fake tits.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like what?
We're making her do this dance.
Yeah.
We
What
know
are
we're not
you,
going to let her
Ross?
in.
Marty.
No, of the four you gave.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't get a different list.
Yeah, you don't just
Is
call
anyone
Marty.
here a Paris? I mean, is anyone really a Paris?
I mean, I respect Paris, but I'd want to be Emily, but I don't know. I don't know if I can be maybe Rory because she fucks up a lot. It's like why are you doing this?
Well, that's
you're
after,
supposed
like-
to be smart.
That's
Why
what
are
I
you-
was going to
season
say.
4.
I was going to say I was a Rory.
I think we all wanted
I'm
to
a
be like
Lorelai.
early
You
season.
think you're a
Lorelai.
Lorelai? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
So because I had watched actually Gilmore Girls, I was the same age as Rory. So when she graduated high school, I graduated high school. When she graduated college, so like my mom watched it too, and I think even when I went to college, like it was her connection.
Yeah.
And then whenever they did the Secret Year in the Life, I rewatched it all. Well,
Yeah.
then we hired Harper, and I knew he was a Gilmore Girls fan. And I was like, okay, I got to get up to date on my Gilmore Girls references. And so I rewatched it again, and I was like, oh, well, now I definitely think even before I probably related to Lorelai, but the age gap just made me feel like I didn't.
Yeah.
And now I definitely do, like her when she's doing the business, her inaptitude for relationships, all of that stuff. Like I relate to all of that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely a Lorelai.
See, Lorelai frustrated me. I was like, all the time. I was like, what? Why are you doing this? Why are you making this decision? Why are you, just
Well, those are the last two seasons.
No,
But that's
even
just the
earlier. Even earlier
Oh, yeah,
with
no.
Lorelai. Like she
Couldn't
frustrated me.
be
Like,
involved with one of Rory's teachers. That's just weird. And it's not Luke. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I was very happy with it because I didn't watch Gilmore Girls till
But what about when
3
she
or 4
broke
years
up
ago?
with Luke? It's like they
What-
finally
what
got
time?
together, and then
Which time?
Yeah.
First
When they were
time.
like
You have to
That was really
realize-
together.
frustrating for me.
not when they were.
You have to
actually
realize,
Before Rachel or after Rachel?
independent, self-reliant
before,
women
I
are
think, yeah.
self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This is why we don't let you be
This
in
was the
control of
part I
anything.
related to.
Wait a second.
Not to say that Luke wasn't self-sabotaging on his own, but
Well,
It's weird to see
that's
Rory now as
that's
a.
who we are attracted to.
right. So this wasn't a character you gave me. If I were to like identify as a Gilmore Girls character, I think it would probably be no, not Kurt. That's two on the nose. I think it would be Jackson.
It's two on the nose.
Oh, no,
I
no.
can see Jackson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say actually I was gonna say Dosey. I was gonna say
Really?
Dosey.
No,
You think
I don't-
Jackson more
you
than
don't
Dosey?
stick to your
Yeah.
guns enough.
That is true. Yeah, I'm a Jackson.
he's-
That's
You're
right.
Jackson.
I sleep with my cucumbers.
If you're
and I
passionate,
don't stick with my.
you'll stick with your guns.
Yeah.
But and run for politics because it's The P stands for politics.
But then realized I made a mistake when I got there. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Why did I do this? I have a job and a family.
So, welcome to Three Gilmore's Inn.
Gilmore's Inn.
I think I'm more of a Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah? How so? Tell me.
I don't know. She just wants things done
Don't
right.
just say a comment and then say, I don't know. Back
Well,
it up.
you got to
man.
have things done right.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I hate when people come in and they have their emotions.
You always
try
have
to
your
get things done
You
wrong.
don't yell at people enough to be a Michelle.
That's true.
But do you
you're
roll
right.
your eyes internally?
You're right. But no, internally I'm yelling.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
most of the time.
That's why I was
You
going
love
with
to
Dosey.
have your little dogs groomed.
I do. I do. Just the little ones.
And anal glands.
And then you got to have them expressed.
Yeah.
Jesus, steering it into the ass one more time. I don't know if
That's
this
what
is
she
how
said.
you do.
This is a male podcast.
Jesus Christ. I'm so
That's
bored
what
with
he
all of
said.
this.
I don't know if we have any listeners. I don't know.
We're going on a
that's
journey,
how-
guys.
Yeah. All right.
Let's wrap
just-
it up with a nice
Yeah.
pink ribbon.
Yeah. Just full circle.
It's the perfect circle.
Gone through the journey.
That's a terrible band.
No.
What?
Come on, Michelle.
we go.
You probably,
Let's hear
you
it. Let's
probably
hear it,
also
Michelle.
like Tool, don't
Come
you?
on. Come on.
I love
Come
Tool.
on.
Yeah.
Bring it at us.
Wait, they have a new album.
Well, Shelby even looked at me on that one. Tool is... Here's my opinions on Tool.
Okay.
Because you asked.
Okay.
I thought it was a joke, and we were all in on it. And then people said, no, I really genuinely love Tool.
No, people do really.
And I thought, oh...
They get
wait,
tattoos
for
about
real?
it and stuff.
Yeah. But it's a dick. Like,
How
I
have
know,
How have
yeah.
you survived in the brewing industry? Not
it
liking
has
Tool.
not been easy. It has... I like metal, but I do not like Tool.
So, what is metal to you?
Oh, Tool is not metal.
I know.
Kill
I
switch
agree with
engage.
you. It's not Tool.
But
That's
no,
not metal.
This is a very good question because, yeah, depending on who you ask, what is metal? Kind of the same thing. If you ask anybody what is an IPA to you, they're going
Right.
to tell you, either it's West Coast,
Gotta
it's
bring it back
bitter,
to
either
beer.
it's hazy, whatever.
We are in a brewery.
It's like the second word in your podcast. So metal for me is going to be more of like an Every Time I Die kind of sound. Like Every Time I Die, Kill
Yeah.
Switch Engage,
Okay.
anything like that. Not a Metallica or
Which
like
singer, though?
anything like that. Early Kill Switch. I
Okay.
don't know his name, but Early Kill Switch.
Jesse, I think.
I think it was Jesse.
Yeah.
And even
Mark.
like it probably is Mark.
Mark.
Or even like
Damon.
even like not as Cities Burn. Tim Lambesis. He was in a band called. I grew up in
No,
the
I'm not
church,
sure
and so
that.
like that early.
So
aughts-
Newsboys.
That church.
That like early aughts hardcore.
Demon Hunter.
Yes, dude.
Casting Crowns.
Fuck you.
Demon Hunter was good.
Yes.
And Skillet. Not metal.
The excitement in your voice
Early
when you
Skillet.
said Newsboys.
Right. Early
So
Skillet,
Newsboys.
like the first two.
Yeah.
Let's stop this before I go. This is bad.
You were
But you were really
this was
excited about
yours.
Demon Hunter.
This was
so
your thing.
That was good. I saw Demon Hunter live.
Where?
It was
Hell.
a place called Murray Hill in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh,
I
shit.
was stationed over there, and I was there to see Cutlass. And
Oh, fucking Cutlass.
yeah,
they-
Cutlass was awful.
I saw Cutlass in Florida.
You really?
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, hey, that's Florida as well.
yeah, right. Jacksonville is in Florida.
Thank
and
you for
then,
your service.
You're welcome. And I did it for you. And because
For your freedom to hate Tool.
So no, it was Skillet and Cutlass at Murray Hill, and the opener was Demon Hunter, which I never heard of. And
Yeah.
then Demon Hunter, they decided to be political and talk, and then they said, "And those political SOBs." And then my entire youth group that I was there with, they were all like, and then he goes,
He said SOBs.
"Sorry about saying SOBs."
Did he say SOB or Sons of Bitches?
No, he said just the letters,
Just
but then he
SOB.
apologized for saying letters.
Did you know that Demon Hunter, the members of Demon Hunter Brothers, were in a band called Training for Utopia?
I did not.
There you go. So they were in a band called Training for Utopia. They had an album called Plastic Soul Impalement. I was in a hardcore band called Soul Impalement. We ripped our name from that album from the brothers who are now in Demon Hunter. And also one of those guys did the album artwork for the Foo Fighters album with a tube that looks like a bomb.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. It all comes full circle.
Yeah. The
Full
perfect
circle to
Terrible band.
James Eha. But anyway.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? Mike, not Mike Portnoy. I don't like him either.
Yeah.
But who's, I can't remember the guy's name now. I have opinions about
You
music.
will notice the lack
Maynard?
of opinions from me because I'm not a white male.
I hate Maynard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also in Tool. Who's the other guy? Who's
Brad
like
K. Wilkes.
the angry? His name is a Mike. It's a Mike something.
Mark.
He's also in that. Who is that?
Are you talking about In Tool or in A Perfect Circle?
No, like another like douchey kind of like mid-cities bar band.
Tool is not
Where
a
did
bar
you play
band.
last
Mark
weekend?
Mark Tremonti.
In a,
Don't
in a
say Mark
mid-cities bar.
Tremonti in a podcast. No, I just said it.
You know that '90s songs like "Who Is It"? Who is it? Faith No More. Who's the lead singer of Faith No More?
Are you comparing Tool to Faith No More?
Yes, that's the guy I don't like. The guy who's in Faith.
I'm
No
leaving
More.
the podcast.
Mike Patton.
That's who.
So yeah,
It's all
but
about the white males.
we didn't talk any about this beer. Not to cut you off.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I've already finished it.
We did the
Yeah.
name. Bob, we had a the Belgian
no,
triple.
this
Sorry.
is the.
I'm still drinking.
Oh,
that.
is it a triple?
I don't like triples.
It's about what you're doing. So you're drinking the Imperial. So
Here.
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, there you go.
Explain to me what a triple is.
Triple is a Belgian style beer. This is going to be, in between like 8 and 10%. Usually pronounces a lot of like Belgian yeast characters. So clove, bubblegum, some spice, like a lot of phenols.
Yeah.
That kind of happen in there.
So whereas a double is darker, this is
Right.
more like a fruity.
Which is kind of weird, right? So
Yes.
yeah, like double normally is like malty, darker.
We have. Well, I have a plan to do doubles, triples, and quads in an episode.
Yeah, dude.
And explain it all.
No singles, no table beers.
Well, also I want to get a Patter's beer, but I only know of one place that would, and that's a lot of beer to drink in one
Right.
sitting. But
not with that
especially
attitude.
when you're doing a triple and a quad.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
No, you start off with a larger pour size.
Yeah,
with
we
the
don't
single
do
and the
that.
double,
We
and then move
we
down.
start out. We keep the
That's how
large
drinking
pours.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah, with drinking you kind of wind it down. You start big and wind down.
yeah. We have trouble doing that. So the other guys.
They have a class for that.
But so the cool thing
All
about
anonymous.
Yeah.
the cool thing about this triple that I really like is it was like the Belgian waffle series.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of more of a breakfasty, brunchy kind of vibe. So
does this one have blueberries in it?
this one is
love
actually
brunch.
treated
Okay.
with blueberries.
Okay.
And then the base style that we have is also treated with maple syrup.
Oh,
Instead of normally with like triple, you're dosing sugar.
candied syrup. Yeah.
Like candy sugar at high Krausen or whenever fermentation
Right,
is at its
right.
peak. So with this one, I dose it with maple syrup at the beginning in the kettle
Okay.
to start off fermentation, and then dose even more as it's going to kind of dry it out, to kind of boost
Right.
the alcohol, give it a drier finish.
Yeah.
I think that I taste maple in it. No one else does.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
I mean, there's a.
It's probably
now
not
that
there.
you've said it, I could probably taste it.
But if I didn't say
I
it,
was
you
going to
wouldn't
say
find it.
that I started tasting it once.
Yeah?
Yeah, once you said it, like I was like,
Right.
okay, I get
There's a
the syrupy
sugariness. I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah.
Well, and two, that's another part of like having a conversation behind the bars about what beers we're pouring. Like if we say things, like if we guide them towards it tastes like this, it tastes like this, these are the flavors, then they'll get them.
Gonna be a citrusy, hoppy
Yeah, this is all citrusy, earthy.
Miller Lite.
Wait, now I get the.
It's a citrusy, hoppy Miller Lite. I was at a bar. Listen to this.
Now I get that. Yeah, Miller Lite. Yeah, totally.
So we were at O'Shea's in Hearst this weekend.
Okay.
And we had two people approach us and ask us if they wanted to do a tasting. And they had two bottles in like the bottle koozies,
Yeah.
that were like blacked out and just said A and B.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we're here with a promotional group. We want to do a beer tasting with you guys.
Yeah.
Let you try two different beers. And then at the end, we'll buy you a beer if you're willing to do this. It's like, okay, cool. So they poured us one in like blank cup A, blank cup
Yeah.
B, and then like literally guided us through it and said, so you'll notice that,
No.
cup A is, clearer. There's a little more color to it. It's not as pale. Whereas cup B, it's more pale.
It's not how you do it,
cup
man.
A, well, clearly.
Yeah.
It's like you'll notice that cup A has more, this is the weird part. They say cup A has more of like a citrus hop kind of note. Whereas cup B is not going to be there, and just like really guided us towards
Right. What they
you're going
wanted.
to enjoy cup A more
Right.
than you enjoy cup B.
I see.
And so they let the entire table try it. I didn't say a thing. I'm not going to be that dick who's like, well, actually, I'm. So I didn't say anything. I want you to know
Wait,
that
you're
I'm
not a dick?
I'm not an ass. No.
Oh.
Not setting.
Have you not just spent the last 5 hours with me? So
Well, that's how long we've been here, right?
it's
5 hours.
been like 10 hours. I feel like it's been forever.
It's been
1 week.
Long time.
oh,
Since you-
See? 2 words, and then we all have different ways to look at it.
It's been 2 weeks since I don't know. I don't remember that song.
So anyway, one of my buddies that I was with gave me up.
Sinead O'Connor?
I already have it.
Is that what you're doing?
No.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Oh, that's what I was starting with, but then I thought
Yeah.
you were going to Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
No, it's bare naked ladies. Beer naked
Beer
ladies.
naked ladies. Wait.
Beer name called it. God, you're always quicker on the draw than me. So finally, one of my buddies gave me up, and he was like, well, he brews beer, whatever. One poor bastard that I was with was like really being guided by all this.
Oh, man.
And so we drink cup A, and he's like,
you're
I actually kind of
right.
get this. Like, yeah, this is like, I don't drink IPAs, but I would think this is like an IPA. Like, this is like an IPA. I try them both, and they're both clearly American light lagers. Like, 100%, like no mistaking them.
Yeah.
That is fancy speak for Bud Miller Coors Light.
Right.
Yes.
Like, yeah, very adjuncty, clearly
rice.
Clearly light
There's
lagers.
been rice in here at some point. Yeah.
But
corn syrup.
If they had presented it to me as these are both American light lagers, pick which one it is. Even if they had said of the three, pick which one.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it. But I did find myself, maybe because they guided me there, but I did find myself preferring A over B. And it might have been because they guided me there.
Wake up, sheeple.
But I've put that in the beer name Slack, and it has not gotten any traction yet. But it is 100% there.
Give it time.
From like a month ago.
Give it time.
But I did prefer Cup A over Cup B, and Cup A was Miller Lite. And
What was Cup B?
Bud Light.
I thought it would be.
Well,
okay.
well, yeah.
Okay. I thought
definitely like that one over the other.
I thought A would be Craft and then B would be Miller Lite, but
I just assumed that if they're having you taste between Miller Lite and Bud Light, that they were probably in a crop top and Daisy Dukes.
and it says Miller Lite
One of them
on it.
was.
It's like,
Oh, it wasn't two dudes?
No, it was a girl and a dude.
Sorry.
I was imagining
That's my
a guy.
prejudice by thinking it was two dudes.
Two dudes and Daisy Dukes. And
I was
crop top.
imagining a guy in a
It is
crop top.
beer.
The girl was showing cleavage.
I don't know.
That is true. The girl was showing cleavage.
I wish the man was.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
That Sears bra.
He was a snack.
Man under
I was
boob
thinking butt
cleavage.
cleavage. But that's how you
Butt
get 'em.
and under boob.
I can
cleavage
fix your sink
from a
here.
dude. Is he farting?
No, he's got his plumber crack. That's how you know
As
a
long
good
as he
plumber.
doesn't-
Anyway,
okay,
I don't know.
Sorry. I didn't mean to add the fart in there. It just happened.
Like
It was silent.
Like Miller
Deadly,
High Life.
but
Like I
silent.
am a fan of Miller High Life. I love a
Living
Yellow
the
Belly.
high life. Yeah.
I like MGD too.
Yeah, like these are all great beers. The light versions are fine. I don't often choose them.
Oh yeah, we
but
didn't
they're
actually
fine.
ask any questions. We have questions for people.
I was going to say, when do we wrap this up? I want to
Yeah.
get y'all sandwiches before the kitchen closes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you got 20 minutes. So 5-minute shotgun. Let's
Okay. Oh man, we're not doing the 5 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
do
sort
we need to
of.
bring the movie question in? Do you still do that?
Oprah, Meryl
It's a
Streep,
part-timer.
your wife. Which no?
Is this a fuck Mary
I
kill?
choose his wife.
For all of them?
Wait, what? That's
You want to kill my
ouch.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was the question. I
Which
just
one
thought we were
first?
choosing one.
But which one
I
first?
choose Rachel.
Yeah.
We all should.
But yeah, what's your favorite beer that you make?
My favorite beer that I make?
Yeah. Not necessarily a Funky Picnic.
So far, it's been the Wit.
Okay.
Honestly, I think the Wit has been my favorite one. The Pale is a very close second, and
Yeah.
the Pale is tied with the ESB.
Did any of those stem from your home brewing or anything like that, or
The Imperial
recipe
did.
that you got from? Okay, cool.
The Imperial did. The Imperial IPA, I'm not ashamed to say, is pretty much IPFNA,
Yeah.
but better.
There you go.
Well, like, I say better. I'm not throwing shade, but with 6 years of brewing experience.
Yeah,
And
okay.
because like originally it was just, well, what if it tasted like this? And just
Yeah.
throwing a lot of shit
Who
at
makes
the wall.
IPFNA?
It's now called Panther Island.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I told him we don't play favorites with our children.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, I don't
I think
have
I've
any
heard that
favorites.
before.
But
Somewhere.
Which is your favorite? Is it the Imperial IPA?
The Imperial is one of my favorites, but that's
Yeah.
the style I like. The ESB I like a lot. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't tend to want to drink that style as much. So it's not the one I tend to want to pour. So if I just any day want to pour a beer, it's the Imperial. I
Yeah.
love balanced IPAs. Usually, a lot of times that's a pale ale. This pale ale, out of the IPAs, that would be my next one too. I like that earthy, piney finish on that bitterness.
Yeah.
But the balanced IPAs are always my favorite.
Yeah. So, but if you had like a big, like an AB InBev beer, or like one of the big macro breweries, BMGD or High
Yellow
Life?
Belly. Coors Original.
Coors
100%
Original?
every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I fucking love it, dude. It's great. Like, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
delicious.
Let's say you're on a yacht in the Yucatan.
Fuck yeah.
With your pet dinosaur, and lack of ozone.
Wait, what kind of
has
dinosaur?
Really, well, I'm picturing
Mine's a pterodactyl
a tiny
on a leash.
velociraptor.
Okay. Aww.
Yeah.
Flying over
leash.
the
That
yacht.
would be-
There's not room for a dinosaur on a yacht.
Catch
Where
them.
is the pterodactyl?
Come here, pterodactyl.
Well, they bioengineered them to be smaller. Anyway, but
not
yeah,
my major.
and the loss of the ozone layer has really made the sunset
Shit, that's not
really
good for my pterodactyl.
really beautiful.
It's closer to the sun.
But it's your last
Terry.
day. It's Terry. Yes, with a P.
But Terry.
They make a good vegan burger.
Oh man, I don't
So
like
much
their
American
fries.
cheese.
Continue. So let me interrupt you continuously.
Women.
Oh, there's a story.
We originally had planned to do 3 beers and then start recording. That was not a good idea.
See.
Forgot to hit
Anyway, but it's your last day on Earth. Maybe you can't drink anymore. You got to put the bong in your butt. Whatever. I don't know. What's your last beer gonna be? You got to butt chug it, or not, or you could drink it like a normal person.
Those are two. My last beer that I'm ever going to taste,
Yeah.
and
What
a
do
beer
you
that I
want?
have to butt chug. are
No,
two
no, just
very
your
different
butt.
beers.
The
Let's just
last
do
beer you're
two.
going to taste with
Okay,
your
well,
butt.
you
But it's got to be your bowl. Sam, do you have one?
I'd go Sierra Nevada Pale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last beer I'm ever going to taste is going to be Rocket 100 from ABG.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh.
What kind of beer is that?
Pilsner.
Okay.
I think they won
What did,
gold at
Several
GABF. Yeah.
What was the one we had when we were down there?
Oh, was it the Sparkle Party?
Oh, the German Sparkle Party.
Jesus, they're not leaving any room for anyone else.
If
to do
I
great
could have
things.
that more regularly, that would be on my list.
They will not return our emails, by the way.
They shouldn't
Have they-
listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, have they listened to your episode?
No, nobody has. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going Rocket 100.
Okay, cool.
I would bathe in that beer.
Seems like a waste of beer.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't
Well,
it?
he'd drink
I mean, you
it
do need to
as
bathe.
well,
If you
right?
leave the plug
Or
in, leave the plug in the tub,
Just
and
get
then
a
when you're
straw.
done,
Last week,
a crazy straw.
Yeah.
Last week we had a couple different media events happening here, and I did have to leave in the middle of the day because I forgot to shower. And I noticed it when I got here. It's like, oh man, I smell really bad. And then whenever Sam and Josh got here, I noticed that we were talking and they were kind of taking steps backwards.
I'm trying to use
As the
deodorant without
conversation
aluminum.
went.
Because I don't like people.
And I was like, oh yeah, I do smell
Yeah,
really bad.
I understand that.
So,
I
yes,
thought it was
I do need
because
to
we
bathe.
showed up wearing the same shirt.
Ah.
And later I was
Have
like,
to go change.
oh, he changed.
Oh no, I like wearing the
We
same
can't
shirt
be
as you.
twinsies?
Not for the
I
better.
like wearing the same shirt as you, but I smelled real bad.
Oh.
So, are you the only one in the brew house, or?
Currently, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Besides the ferns.
Yeah. Speaking of inclusivity, I'm the only one in the brew house, but I do have the Ferns and a trio of cats
Nice.
who
Okay.
come and hang out with me in the morning.
So
I've
what would it
Well,
take
where are
to
they
have to
from?
get you to a point where you would need a?
Money.
Oh,
How very Stanley of you. See, that was our office reference, money.
We've done a couple office references since then.
That's what
that was a
you
good one.
Money.
That's another one.
I have a fat ginger. The fat ginger is the one that comes and greets me in the morning.
Yeah.
But then I also have a black cat who is really good friends with the fat ginger.
Yeah.
He won't let me pet him yet, but he and the fat
Right.
ginger will kind of hang out. And then I also have a cute tabby.
Oh.
That comes. It lets me pet it sometimes. I'm not sure the gender on the cute tabby
The one
yet.
with the collar.
There's a collar ginger who comes usually after the 3 have gone. And then there's an ugly ginger who I haven't seen in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's probably good.
The ugly ginger might not
It's
be
also
long for this.
really
world.
dumb.
Oh, some sad
The
cat talk
ugly
here.
ginger is really dumb.
Took it a good 2 minutes to figure out how to run up a tree when my dog was chasing it.
Yeah, it's really bad. But then there's an elusive tabby.
Oh,
That
okay.
hangs out just on the fringes. It comes around sometimes. But these are the characters in the brew house with me.
In the story of Harper.
I love all this cat talk.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of cats. There you go.
Cats and Mother Nature.
Mother Gaia.
That's it. I think
You know what I mean?
it. Did you have any? Did you have any more to say about the triple?
No.
Better than Bitter Sisters?
No, it was good. It was at Funky Picnic,
but
and the
not
beers
better
that we
than
had, it's my second favorite. So it was my second favorite here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ESB
the
is
Blue
still
Trip?
here.
ESB is the favorite, triple, followed closely by the Imperial IPA.
See, that pale. It's not often on the top of the list.
Yeah,
top of the list.
I found it interesting that when you said your deathbed beer, you didn't mention the peanut butter stout.
Yeah.
So we had a whole conversation while you were gone
I
about
heard a
how
little
you
bit.
were really
2
excited to
cups,
brew up
one
peanut butter
stout.
and use that
Yeah.
You don't like that name?
1 cup.
No.
1 cup? 1
2
cup.
peanut butters, 1 cup.
1 cup.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
that's
right.
right.
As a rule, I don't like any name that is with like a heavily implied like elbow. Like, do you get it? Oh my God, do you get it? It's the sex thing. Like, I don't. Generally, not a fan of that. And I'm
Was there sex involved?
sure that's not what we were thinking
I
about.
thought they were just pooping.
I never saw the video.
But there's a sex
I
element,
didn't
right?
either.
I hate
I didn't
YouTube.
either. I'm
Don't
just
need to.
I don't like YouTube.
basing what I have heard.
Isn't there like a sex element though, like a fetish element?
I'm sure there's a
yeah,
fetish
there's
of
a
it. I don't know that
fetish.
anything like sexual happens.
Like at Sears, I think they. Yeah.
Poop in one of those bras. Or
It's just one. The cup is a D cup.
I can hold.
A diva cup?
I don't know. I don't know about
This episode brought to you by Sears. Try the softer side of Sears.
before they close.
Sears Intimates.
Sears Intimates.
The ones your grandmother loves.
granny panties.
Shawls.
Try the underwire that's not uncomfortable. Come
You can
try
use
the
that to
softer
unlock
side
a
of
car.
Sears.
There you go. Yeah. Not really, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I don't think underwire is long enough, but they did it in Friends.
To
Anyway.
unlock a car?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah.
For picking the lock, not
Depends
for
on
going
the
through the
boots.
window.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about.
Depends on the boots.
It's like there you go.
It's a
And
W
on that
cup.
note, thanks everybody for joining us at Funky Picnic. Come down, enjoy their beers and their sandwiches, and Harper if he's here and he is showered. But yeah, everybody, thanks again. It's been fun. This has been Ross.
This is Sammy Joe.
This has been Chance.
And I'm Mason Biscuits.
And this is the podcast.
And this is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
I ruined it.
Yeah,
that's good.
Thanks for sticking around. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, BigHeadsMedia.com, or anywhere there are podcasts. If you like what you heard, rate and review us on iTunes. Check out our Patreon. Find it at patreon.com/3beersinpodcast. Check out all of our awards. You can give as little as $1 a month to help us keep doing what we're doing. It really helps out and we'll give you a thank you on the show. Or for a little more, you can remain anonymous. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 3beersinpodcast. Check out our website, 3beersinpodcast.com. You can find information about us and the show along with the links to all of our episodes and our really cool merchandise. While you're on our site, you can tell us what you like, what you don't like. If you don't like us, then why the hell are you still here? You should have turned us off long ago. But if you're just going to listen to us anyway, you should probably subscribe too. And if you would like a transcript of our podcast, write down everything that we just said.
My buddy just walked in.
You don't have buddies.
I'm Michael, the host of the semi-monthly podcast In a City Like Yours. Join me as I chat with interesting people with interesting life stories. You can listen to the podcast on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can follow us on Twitter at IACLYS Podcast, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at In a City Like Yours Podcast. Please feel free to let me know what you think and keep coming back for the many interesting stories in a city like yours.